Progressive. Now here comes the vast majority casualty insurance company affiliate.
From the KERN News, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'm Bill Robbins. Police officers are investigating a homicide near Westside High School. It happened at around 9:45 Sunday night in the 4600 block of Roberta Way. The coroner's office has ID'd the victim as 19-year-old Landon O'Ryan Worthy of Bakersfield. They say he was shot on Roberta Way and managed to get to Nimrod Court. Police say he was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspect information is available. Anyone who knows anything is asked to contact the Bakersfield Police Department. A crash leaves one victim dead and a man under arrest for driving under the influence in East Bakersfield. It happened just after 12:30 Sunday morning. BPD responding to the crash on Fairfax Road south of Alfred Harrell Highway. Officers say that a black pickup and a silver sedan were involved. The driver of the sedan was dead by the time officers got there. The driver of the pickup, Juan Rangel, had minor injuries. Detectives say that Rangel was heading south on Fairfax but veered into the northbound lane, crashing into the sedan. Rangel will be charged for DUI and vehicular manslaughter. A tentative agreement between Albertsons Companies and workers for Albertsons, Safeway, and Bond stores in Northern and Central California. The deal includes wage increases, a fortified retirement plan, and properly funded health care benefits. Kern County Animal Services is using technology from Petco to create an online database interactive map, and they're using facial recognition to locate lost pets. Information from individuals and thousands of pet partners across the country goes into the database. Technology allows you to upload a picture of an animal, and the facial recognition technology will show if that pet has been reported missing. Pet owners are encouraged to register their pets on Petco Love in advance. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Little thing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. The host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. For those of you subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Chris Burdick producing on this 29th day of July. And we got a great show for you. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, it's a Tuesday, so former magistrate judge Teresa Goldberg will join us. And then at 4 o'clock, Sheriff Donnie Youngblood is going to join us live in studio. You may remember Justin Fleeman, sheriff deputy, ran against the sheriff and lost and sued the county, insisting he was fired because he ran against Donnie Youngblood. The county has settled it for a tune of some $300,000. We'll talk to the sheriff about that. We'll get his thoughts on the situation that we're leading with in New York. I'm not going to really ask him about the specifics of New York. He knows nothing more than we, but I want to ask him, in his opinion as a law enforcement officer, how are we losing generations of young men who are just willing to quit and take lives with them? I'll tell you more about Shane Tamuna, Tamuna, who's got ties to Southern California as well. We'll talk about that. Ghislaine Maxwell, as per my prediction, is making demands to answer her subpoena to Congress. We'll unpack that. Talk a little sports. One of the greatest, some would say the greatest second baseman in baseball history. I don't think so. In fact, I don't even really think he's in the top 3. I would go with Honus Wagner, Joe Morgan, and Davey Lopes. No, I'm kidding about Davey Lopes. Ryan Sandberg died at the tender age of 65 of cancer. We'll unpack that for you. Shohei Ohtani takes the bump tonight after the Dodgers won 5-2. And once again, our bullpen damn near screwed the pooch. Who was it that came in and damn near screwed the pooch? It was, Blake Tynan. And I don't blame that on Blake. You Dodger fans know he's been on the IL. Last night was his debut performance in this season. And Dave Roberts, who is a really nice man, I think I'd love to play for him. He's a player's coach. He's forgotten more about baseball than I know. I prefer another manager. That's all. He does things that I don't simply understand. Most significantly and redundantly for me, having one of the greatest power hitters in the history of the sport leading off. Unless that's coming from the Guggenheims, who are saying, I'm paying this man $700 million. I want as many at-bats as I can get, which I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case. But if that's the strategy, I just don't understand that. Like I said a couple of weeks ago or last week or whenever I said it, Andy Paez has 19 home runs and 63 RBIs. Shohei is leading the National League with 38. He's got 69. He's got 6 more RBIs than a guy that's got 19 home runs. He would average 150 RBIs in the 3 or 4 hole. I just don't understand that. Anyway, getting back to Doc, Blake Tynan hasn't pitched in months, and he brings him in a safe situation, 5-2 in the bottom of the 9th, and Tynan leaves the bases loaded, and thankfully, I got to check with ESPN. Was it Dreyer? Dreyer came in and finally put out the fire, and the Dodgers got a much-needed win over the Reds last night, 5-2. We'll talk about that. And some other miscellaneous news and notes. The camps are getting going, and they are interesting. Terry Bradshaw is fighting with Aaron Rodgers. Did you see that? Aaron Rodgers actually, and I find this hard to believe that I'm saying this, handled something well.
Yeah, he did.
Terry Bradshaw basically said, tell him to go take Hiawatha or go eat bark or he just dogged him, basically. Just absolutely dogged him. And Rodgers came back and said, Terry Bradshaw's a legend. He went back-to-back twice. I think he's the only quarterback to do that, as a matter of fact. He won 4 Super Bowls. He was a great player. And I just don't think he knows me. And I'd like to get to know him, and maybe we could eat some bark together. You couldn't pay a marketing company or a public relations firm to write a better response. And where did that come from? Where did kooky Aaron go? That's the Aaron I used to like his first 10 years in the league. And then he just kind of went over the deep end. I think it was partly in part with the relationship with his parents and his brother.
He was going through a lot of turmoil back
then. And then he just kind of went sideways.
You know what I think it is?
What?
He's married now.
Do you think she settled him down?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time we've seen it.
That was a brilliant take because he was smart enough to realize Terry Bradshaw's a god in Pittsburgh.
Oh, well, yeah.
I cannot dog this guy. Last thing I want to do is get into a pissing contest with the only quarterback that's got 4 Super Bowls in the state of Pennsylvania. So maybe I ought to be nice. I thought that was odd. But I'm obviously trying to delay because I really don't want to talk about this. 4 people killed in New York City, not including Shane Tamara, whatever it is. He was a 27-year-old kid living in Las Vegas. He grew up in LA. He played football for Golden Valley High School down in Santa Clarita, and then moved into the Valley and played for Granada Hills Charter School, which is not to be confused with Granada Hills High School. That's where John Elway went to high school. And according to, what's the link? Max Prep, he's a pretty good athlete. He was 5'7", 140 pounds. He rushed for his senior year, 126 rushes for 600 yards. His coaches, his teammates been interviewed and said he was a great guy. He was quiet, but he had mental issues. Now, I'm sure you've heard many of the statements from the New York officials that said that he had, quote, and this is the quote, documented mental health history. And I think, no, I don't. I say this every time we go through this, that maybe this time we'll examine mental health. This kid was stopped and put on psychiatric hold twice, once in 2022 and once in 2024. And yet there was no avenue, there was no manner in which we could help this kid. He knew he was in trouble. Apparently, late they found a note where he claimed that he had CTE from playing football. That's why he shot himself in the chest, which is exactly what Chicago Bears great Dave Duerson did. He was a safety on that 86 Bears team, and Junior Seau both shot themselves in the chest because they wanted their families to have their brains examined. And as I was just telling Rand Dizzle, and this almost makes me cry, you know who's going through it right now? Tony Dorsett.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, kids don't want to be around him because he's unpredictably violent, and he just ain't right.
Forgot about that. You're right. He has been dealing with that.
Yeah, and it just, once we get past the tragedy of these 4 people that died, the police officer, the security guard, the woman on the 33rd floor, and I think they're linking this to the NFL. The NFL offices were located in that building. And apparently, from what I read, and again, this is really early, so take all of this with a grain of salt, as we just talked about a couple of weeks ago, at the height of interest is when the information is the weakest. And that's initially, the very beginning. So let's take some time. But this is what I know. This is what I've read. This is what I heard this morning. But that the security guard that was behind the desk, the second officer shot, was locked up, was either trying to or did lock up the elevator. And that's why it landed on the 33rd floor, because he was trying to get to the NFL offices, which were higher. And he ended up on the floor of the management team that manages that building and many other prominent buildings in New York. And as you probably know by now, the thing that just sticks out in my mind as the craziest event, obviously along with him killing people indiscriminately, is the fact that he let some woman get off the elevator and didn't shoot her. I just can't understand that. He comes in, first of all, how he walked, how he double parked in Manhattan and got out of the car with a long gun and walked all that. I mean, that's from what I could just guesstimate. Have you seen the video?
Oh, yeah.
What does it look like? At least 100 yards,
Easily.
if not longer. And nobody saw him with that gun,
Big old gun.
that big AR-15 hanging off his right side. No one saw that.
Didn't blend in with his clothes either, so you can't say that. I don't get it either.
I mean, is that just New York City? Is that just
Maybe just
the
people
hustle
aren't
and bustle that people are just used to keeping their eyes down and keeping their head forward and just move? I don't know. So he walks in, he turns right, he shoots the police officer, then he starts spraying the place, shoots the security guard, gets on the elevator. There's a woman on the elevator. He allows her to walk off the elevator and then goes to the 33rd floor, and then again just starts indiscriminately spraying the place, kills a woman. There's another person in critical condition. it just demands, and what we'll ask Sheriff Youngblood about, again, as I said, how is this happening? How are we losing these kids? How are they just willing to say, I'm leaving my job, I'm getting in a car, I'm going to drive across country, I'm going to get to the floor of the NFL building, and I'm going to shoot everybody and then kill myself? How is life so bad? And again, and the other peel of the envelope of the onion is the fate of high school football. When we start looking at this thing, and they examine his brain, and he really does have CTE from just playing small level high school football. I think parents are going to really, because this began years ago with the movie Concussion and all the incidents that were occurring where parents were beginning to say, no, my child's not playing football. Well, once this thing gets the publicity it's going to get, if in fact he has CTE, I think it's going to take a big poke, particularly at how popular baseball is getting and how big the contracts are getting. I mean, most kids that play football can play baseball. Most quarterbacks can play shortstop or third base or catcher. And I think you're going to see a lot of kids just say, you know what, I'm just going to play basketball and baseball. I don't know. Who knows? Just another crazy incident. Let's go ahead and take our first break of the day. Our former federal magistrate judge, Teresa Golden, will join us just in a matter of minutes. Then at the top of the hour, I'm looking forward. We haven't had Sheriff on in a long time. It's going to be live in studio at the top of the hour at 4 o'clock. Ghislaine Maxwell is making demands from prison. The perjurer, the pimp, the pedophile by association. A woman who should be rotting in jail for the rest of her life. And why is Donald Trump even entertaining clemency? Pardon? God, I wish I could just send him a note every now and again. Mr. President, the only answer you could have to that is absolutely not. Pardon her? Absolutely freaking not. I'd pardon Adam Schiff before I'd pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, is the only answer he should be responding. But that he's thinking about it, that he could, that I might, that what? What? You want to lose your base? Go ahead and pardon that woman. Good. Google it, Mowgli. Oh, who's giving him advice inside the White House? This coconut cabinet, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Quick timeout, coming right back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Tuesday right here on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1180 KRN. And we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KER.
I got no water.
Next, Armstrong and Getty Show. The Democratic Party sees they're less popular than ever. Their reaction is not going to help. Plus, what happened to all that money donated for the Southern California wildfire victims?
We'll talk about a dumb new term that will make you wish you hadn't turned into the Armstrong and Getty Show at all. Man keeping. What is it? Next, Armstrong and Getty Show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Oh no, Dad, I spilled juice on the carpet.
Don't worry, kiddo. We have stain-resistant carpet from Carpet Outlet Plus.
Dad, Lucky dunked his water bowl all over the new floors.
Everything is fine. We have brand new waterproof floors from Carpet Outlet Plus. You can find everything you need for family-proof floor at Bakersfield's best flooring store. Now offering 1 year, no interest financing. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Man, look at her turn day old king, man. Oh, wow. Emotional. King of the Hill is back. They got a Bob's in the airport now. Oh, that's Boba.
World has changed, Dad.
Bobby wants to bring that new girl over for dinner.
The Vegas. What the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Can we just put some grass in a bowl? From Mike Judge and Greg Daniels.
Ready to make some memories, Dad?
Let's freaking go. A Hulu original series, King of the Hill. Season premiere August 4th. Streaming on Hulu.
Which is why I'm thinking he has a lot of baby mamas.
Maybe he has more baby mamas. Comment below. How many baby mamas does Tyreek Hill have? It said, Google says 5. Travis Henry
palm tree. Add
has
pure
9
notes
baby
of
mamas.
fresh cocaine and layer on
It's like Nick
24/7 odor and
Willis.
sweat.
Willis has 9 baby
You
mamas.
won't hear any dyes or parabens because
really
with
messed
Fiji,
my life
you
Then
won't have
Marshall
any.
Falk has
So while
4.
your regular antiperspirant sounds like
What is
this,
that? I mean,
Old
That's
Spice
not bad. I
Fiji
think 2
sounds
baby
like
mamas would be
this.
hard to keep up with. They've
Sounds
got
like
9.
it smells
How are you even rotating who you're spending
This
time
is a
with?
special
King
notice to
eventually
U.S.
would start
taxpayers owing
rapping.
$10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief
August
Advocates is
Nick.
urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available
Who has
that
the
may
most baby
significantly
mamas in
reduce
the
or eliminate
NFL?
what you owe. If you're afraid of
He's
an
on there, but
IRS
he does
levy,
not
levy
have
or
the
wage
most.
garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take
NFL
advantage
edition
of
of
these
all
current
time.
relief programs
Josh
to
Jacobs.
end all
Josh
collections,
Jacobs.
reduce the amount
This
you owe,
one's
and resolve your
unsafe.
tax
Some are saying
problem.
8, some
Even
are
if
saying
you have
7.
years of unfiled tax
Antonio
returns or are
Cromartie,
already in a
not 8
payment
baby
plan,
mamas.
you may still
Chad
qualify for
Johnson.
significant relief.
Jessica.
Struggling taxpayers can
7
now get
baby
relief
mamas.
they need
Oh,
during
okay.
these hard economic
Adrian
times.
Peterson.
A hotline has been established by
Tyreek Hill
tax
only has
relief
5
advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews.
Maybe he has
Don't
more
wait.
baby
Call
mamas. Comment below. How many baby mamas does Tyreek Hill have?
800-575-7147.
It says
800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
I was too leisurely doing close to nothing different from the day before. That's when I saw her. Ooh, I saw her. She walked in through the outdoor. She wore a raspberry beret. I got only a couple of minutes before we get the judge in here. I ran into a really funky, weird, disgusting, horrible stat last night.
Uh-oh.
NFL players and their baby mamas and number of children.
Oh, good Lord.
This is crazy. And what's crazy is some of the cats that are on the list. I'm going to start with best player to worst player.
Okay.
Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk, who I thought was a good guy, respectable. Marshall Faulk has 4 baby mamas and 6 children. 4 baby mamas.
That's high.
Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson has 7 baby mamas. And for the Caucasian members of our audience, baby mamas means women that he's had children with. Doesn't necessarily mean that they married.
Yeah, the line has been blurred the last couple of years.
Yeah, because I
Traditionally,
think
you're
some
not
of them,
supposed to be married.
I think one of them was married. He was married to.
Yeah, usually you're not supposed to marry your baby mom. Or
Nevertheless, we'll just all. He has 7 baby mamas and 8 children. How do these guys afford 8 children? Everybody knows this one. And Antonio Cromartie, yes. How many do you think he's got?
Oh, God, what is he up to? 13, 14 kids now?
14 kids, 8 baby mamas.
Yeah, something like that.
How do you even remember the 14 kids' names?
Like Nick Cannon.
Jeez.
Philip Rivers was pretty much up there, too.
Travis Henry.
Oh, really?
Travis Henry has 9 baby mamas and 11 children. 9 baby mamas. Like, how does, think about the women though. Think about like the 8th woman. You have 7 baby mamas. Come get me, Big Daddy. I'm going to be the 9th. Let's do this. I mean, who else is on here? Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. His kids don't even like him as a football player either. They prefer Justin Jefferson.
He's got 5 baby mamas and 8 kids. Alimony
checks these men.
Adrian Peterson, who almost went to jail for one of his kids. He was whooping one of his kids, and his kids called Child Protective Services. He went to jail. He got 5 baby mamas and 6 children. Have they heard of condoms? And you got to know that amongst these 8 guys, somebody got the clap. Somebody got gonorrhea. Somebody got chlamydia. You just walking around, you're an NFL player. You can have sex with just about any girl in any city, and you aren't wearing a condom. That just don't make no sense. But after I got past the craziness, I started thinking about the women. And you know what? What did my dad say? How can you answer 8 questions out of 10?
Money.
Money. Once I have this brother's child, he's got to send me money for the next 18 years.
Alimony checks must be.
I'm the 9th baby mama. Come get me, Big Daddy. Good. Googly. Moogly. I mean, just Pampers alone, let alone child support. Our former federal magistrate judge, Teresa Golder, is next.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Officials say Russian glide bombs and ballistic missiles.
I know,
have
it's
struck
not
the
like her to
Ukrainian
be this
prison
late.
And a medical
I
facility
hope she
as
didn't tell
Russia's
me
relentless
she wasn't
strikes on
coming and I
civilian
forgot.
areas killed at least 27 people across the country.
Text me with this.
The attacks came despite President Trump's threat to punish Russia with sanctions and tariffs unless it stops the barrages. Police say a gunman who killed 4 people in a Manhattan skyscraper before taking his own life claimed to have a brain disease linked to contact sports and was trying to target the National Football League's headquarters in the building. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says investigators believe the gunman wanted to get up to the NFL's offices on Monday but entered the wrong elevator. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 204 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'm Bill Robbins. Police officers are investigating a homicide near Westside High School. It happened at around 9:45 Sunday night in the 4600 block of Roberta Way. The coroner's office has ID'd the victim as 19-year-old Landon O'Ryan Worthy of Bakersfield. They say he was shot on Roberta Way and managed to get to Nimrod Court. Police say he was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspect information is available. Anyone who knows anything is asked to contact the Bakersfield Police Department. A tentative agreement between Albertsons companies and workers for Albertsons, Safeway, and Bond stores in Northern and Central California. The deal includes wage increases, a fortified retirement plan, and properly funded health care benefits. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
So which microphone is the one that is used? Is it this
So
one?
that is for the YouTube channel, and then the traditional microphone like we always use for videos.
Should I put it, where do you think?
I usually tell everybody second button. That's usually traditionally where it fits the best.
Right there?
Yeah, just start right there and just have to.
Hopefully no heavy breathing, right?
No, you should be fine. Everything's picked up great.
Okay, let's see if this is working here.
We get started here in about.
And so what do these do now?
Oh, those are just headphones.
So they're not are they plugged in and stuff?
Yeah. I have the mic in there when you guys aren't here, so they can hear me.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got it. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Mr. Bailey?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah. When is it going to cool down? Please tell me soon.
Not soon. And I was laid up in my apartment when it was nice and cool.
Are you feeling okay today?
No. I went and I had an x-ray done and he took my blood. I'll find out tomorrow how much uric acid's in my system. And then he said the only other option is to go to, do you know Dr. Echeverry?
Yes.
I'm supposed to go to him and he's going to give me a steroid shot in my foot. And he said there's good news and there's bad news. So the good news is it goes away in 8 hours. The bad news is
comes back.
Steroid shot is painful as hell.
I've had one
where
of
they
those.
stick it in you and then they have to like move it around after they inject it.
But just think you'll feel better soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, but I'm not looking forward to it. It's a Tuesday, and that means our former federal magistrate judge, former Kern County Counsel Teresa Goldner is live in studio. How are you, Judge?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Ralph?
I am extremely well, other than my left foot. But other than that, I'm great.
Is it still the same issue as before?
Yes, just battling the gout. It's been a month. And that's why my doctor doesn't even think it's gout. He thought that I had broken my foot or something, because very rarely, I've never heard of it, and I've never experienced it, having a gout bout go 4 weeks.
How long do you mind talking about this?
No, not at
How
all.
long have you had the problem? And when did
Period.
you first get it?
I got it as a young man, which is rare. I got it in my 40s.
Huh.
And then it went away for about 5 years when I lost the weight. Once I lost the weight, I never had a bout of gout.
But you're
until
still
about a year ago, it cropped back up. And it was minor. I just it would hurt my foot, my toe, and wasn't anything big. And then all of a sudden, last 4 weeks ago on a Friday, I left here and it was kind of bugging me, but I was okay. I was going to play golf the next morning. And I woke up the next morning and I literally could not stand up. I literally couldn't put weight on my foot. And I was like that for about 3 days. And it progressively gets better, but it's never lasted for 4 weeks.
I'm sorry.
So now I've got to take the big steroid shot tomorrow.
What time do you take it?
I haven't. In fact, I have to call him. In fact, God, I'm glad you reminded me. I have to call him before 5 o'clock.
Will you be feeling like Superman after you get it?
Yes, apparently. He said there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is it goes away immediately. The bad news is the steroid shot is ridiculously painful.
Oh, Ralph,
because they not only inject you, but once they inject you, they kind of like maneuver it around, and it goes right into like your ankle. So I'm not looking forward to it.
Wow. Are you going to work tomorrow? Coming
Oh
in?
yeah. Oh yeah.
You are tough.
No, I'm not. I've missed 3 days of work in the last month.
Do you get paid?
That is unheard of.
Do you get paid when you're not here?
Yeah.
So there you go. It's
Yeah,
okay.
but no.
You're entitled to sick leave.
If I learned anything from my dad, if there's anything he left with me, is the work ethic. And these guys depend on me, and it's chaos when I'm not here. JR has to stay longer and do the show, or they have to put together a best of, and it screws up everybody's day. I hate missing work.
So you just kind of bite the bullet and come in when you're feeling bad.
Yeah, but I couldn't Monday, Tuesday that I missed. I was literally hopping around my apartment. And I was only going to the bathroom and going to the front door to get my Uber Eats.
But isn't gout the disease that the kings used to have in the 14th century?
They called it the rich man's disease because rich foods is what gets you. And I think my situation was, and I've been talking about it in the Casey Steakhouse commercial, that I've been eating a lot of fettuccine Alfredo up there because I'm trying not to eat red meat. It's got chicken in it. And I forgot about the Alfredo sauce, which is really bad for me.
Going back to the fish now, right?
Yes, I am. I had sushi last night.
There you go. Sushi's great.
Sushi is
I
very
think you
good
go
for
to
me.
the same sushi place that I like to go
Bento
to.
Express?
Love Bento Express.
I do too.
Oh, love it.
I do too. I go. It's
They
right.
take good care of you there.
Perfectly on my way home, going down Oak, and I love them.
Do you pop in, get it to go, or do you eat
I
there?
get it to go.
Nice.
I
Very
call
nice.
at 5:30, and I don't, as the listeners may have heard, because I forgot to turn my mic off. I don't even have to order.
They already know. Just go. I'd like
I
my
just
usual.
go, hi, it's Ralph. It's, oh, hey, okay, we'll see you in about a half hour. Okay, see you then.
That means you are a regular
I am.
customer.
2 yellowtail, 2 salmon, and fried rice.
Do you like spicy tuna? Oh, you can't have. Can you have spicy or no?
No, I can do spicy. I can't do tuna.
Oh.
I should not do tuna. Any type of shellfish or
Spicy tuna is really good.
Mhm.
I like that.
I do too. What are we talking about this afternoon?
You know, I know we talked about it a little bit before, but not too much. I thought it would be interesting to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell and what's going on there. Have you talked about that yet?
No,
today?
but I'm about to at the bottom of the hour.
Oh
so
no,
this is
I'm
good.
taking all your
This
content.
No, this is great. Chris, try to clip something from what she says, and we'll use it at the bottom of the hour. Can you do that? No. No, we can't.
That's okay. I'll just keep talking. How's
Okay.
that?
That's what I mean at 4:30. I didn't mean like, yeah.
So I have my little white book with all my notes, and when as I'm going through my reading and listening to other things, and to me, this whole thing is just fascinating. The fact that Ghislaine Maxwell has had, she just finished up. I don't know if you've been following that. She's just finished up 9 hours of meeting with Todd Blanche, the
Right.
Deputy Attorney General. That's incredible to me. They met in the courthouse. Her lawyer was present. The prosecutor was present, and she did not ask for anything in that particular interview with him.
But now they have.
Now they have. But when she sat down before that and talked to him, she didn't ask for immunity. She didn't ask for anything special. She had no conditions. She waived any attorney-client privilege. She waived any right against self-incrimination. And according to what his lawyer said, or excuse me, her lawyer said, David Marcus, who's a really good lawyer, he went on the air this morning or this afternoon and said she answered every question. She answered it fully. She answered it truthfully, and she didn't hold anything back. And isn't that fascinating? If you believe her.
Exactly. That was my next
If
point.
you believe her.
This
Right.
is a woman that should have been charged with perjury.
But they
this is
dropped
a
it.
woman who they dropped it, but she lied. She
lied.
absolutely lied.
She lied in the civil trial.
Right. And
Yes.
she's a woman who was a sex trafficker. She's a pedophile, as far as I'm concerned. How really reliable is this woman? Wouldn't you and I say just about anything to get out from under a 20-year prison term?
Just remember, anything that she says hopefully can be corroborated. So no matter what she says, if they could corroborate it with other evidence or other testimony, I think that's enough to give at least some credibility to her testimony, as long as it can be corroborated. Remember, she knows where all the bones are buried.
So then what is she going to say that she wouldn't say when she was facing 20 years in prison?
She did not testify. She didn't testify before the grand jury. She wasn't called to testify before the grand jury. She didn't testify at her trial because, of course, she was the one that was being tried. So she'd be dumb to testify at her own trial.
But if she had nuggets, Bill Clinton was there, Donald Trump was there, wouldn't she have used that for leverage in the first trial?
If they'd given her that opportunity. But if she gets on the stand and testifies to some things, she can't assert the fifth as to other things.
She can't work out a deal behind the scenes. She has to testify to say these things.
Well, it depends. It just depends on if she waives her Fifth Amendment at trial, she waives it, period. You don't get to pick and choose which part you're waiving your fifth on. So,
No, but what I'm saying is before it went to trial and she's facing 20 years, you're saying that no point she didn't say to her attorney, I know things. And the attorney didn't go to the government and say, give us a plea deal. Give us probation and 500 hours of community service, and she'll sing like a canary.
Her lawyer has said in interviews that she was never given the opportunity to tell her side of the story.
To make a plea deal?
That's correct. Nothing. They weren't interested. And her whole theory.
And you know who she is, don't you?
Ghislaine Maxwell?
No, the prosecutor.
No.
Maureen Comey.
She got fired. Oh, you mean when
back
then?
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
The one who was recently fired after she lost that case.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. That was an injustice.
I don't. They
Absolute
shouldn't fire.
injustice.
They shouldn't have fired her for
No.
that. I think that's terrible.
Yeah, that was retribution.
But I think that I think it's good that she's talking to the Department of Justice, because if what people want, and it seems like this is what people want, they want to know what happened. They want to know who was involved. If there were some big names that were involved in this illegal behavior, I think it's important that we find out whether or not it's true what people, even though you're on a list of something, it doesn't mean you did anything bad. They still have to prove it, and there still has to be evidence for it. But I do think that the public has the right to know what happened in this particular case.
Do you think the government is going to give in to, you said initially she didn't demand things. Well, now she is. Now she wants immunity to testify before Congress. She wants the interview to not take place in prison. She wants the questions in advance. Hell, I don't even do that.
Have you ever given anyone questions in advance?
No. And people have gotten extremely angry with me. And I'm sorry. I'm like, well, I'm sorry.
So you just won't do the interview then?
It's absolutely right. She wants to be interviewed only after the resolution of her SC petition, Supreme Court petition.
Right.
Big dummy. And her forthcoming habeas petition.
Yep.
What is the habeas petition?
Okay. Habeas, prisoners that are incarcerated persons usually can file two different things after an appeal is done. An appeal is something where you go up the food chain in the courts to try to get your conviction overturned.
Right.
The alternatives, after you do that, you can always file a habeas petition, or you can file some type of civil rights action, but typically it's going to be a habeas petition. And a habeas petition is where you have to convince the court that you are attacking the fact of your conviction and the duration of your conviction. If you're, as a prisoner, if you file a civil rights case, you're complaining about the conditions of your confinement. But in a habeas case, you're saying that so many things went wrong with my case was so unconstitutional, i.e. I didn't get a fair trial, that despite the fact that I lost all my appeals, you should still let me out of prison, Judge. And actually, I've done a lot of habeas petitions. I've probably done, probably a couple hundred habeas petitions. It's all done on the paper. You file your they file their petitions. These are the prisoners. You look at all of the evidence in the court trial, and you see, if you kind of take your constitutional comb and you go through the whole case, and you see if their constitutional rights were violated, and if they were, is it to the degree that it should be overturned? And on appeal, through a habeas, the court can actually let somebody out of prison.
Did she get a fair trial?
I don't know. I haven't heard the testimony. I don't know what all the evidence was. But whoever looks at that habeas petition is going to be looking at all that kind of evidence. And it takes a long time to do all of that. You have to look at every little thing.
Yeah.
But habeas petitions are very rarely granted, because the Constitution says that you are not entitled to a perfect trial. You're entitled to a fair trial.
Right.
And so even though there might have been mistakes that were made in the trial, it doesn't necessarily mean that her habeas petition is going to be granted. And so she's got that pending. And then she also has an appeal pending before the United States Supreme Court. And the appeal is about something totally different, but it would have the same result. Her appeal is about, she is claiming that when Jeffrey Epstein made a deal with the federal prosecutor several years ago, part of his no prosecution agreement with them was that anybody that was involved in those crimes that he supposedly was settling or resolving with the federal prosecutor in Florida, that nobody else could be prosecuted for it. And she's claiming that that should have included her.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And it's not fair that she's getting stuck with all of this when he got, he wasn't prosecuted for any of those crimes. And that was several years ago, though. That was before the later ones.
So we're talking with Teresa Golder, our former federal magistrate judge and former Kern County counsel. What is the end game for all this?
For her?
What's the best case scenario that she does? She points fingers at people that were involved and they get prosecuted?
She tells her story.
Is there a statute of limitations?
There is a statute of limitations. There is. But typically when somebody, there's a rule, I think it's called Rule 35 in the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. And when somebody, let's say someone's convicted, and then later they turn around and they cooperate with the prosecutors could file a motion to reduce their sentence, to change it. But there's a 1-year statute of limitation for that. And that has long passed because she was convicted many years ago.
Right.
But as far as crimes that people may have committed on, what was it called, Epstein Island or the airplane, sure, the statute of limitations would run on that.
So then what's the end game? What's the goal of all this?
People will know what finally happened, and if there are public officials and other people that how could I say, public figures who were pedophiles, who were involved in this, I think the public do have a right to know.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, as a reporter, wouldn't you think that the public has a right to know something like that? I mean, it's
yes, but as a reporter, the most important part of an investigative story is your source.
Yes.
And I just don't think she is a reliable source. I don't believe anything that comes out of this lady's pile. This is the woman that said none of this ever happened. Let's remember that from the get-go. She's like, what are you talking about? We didn't have any island. We didn't, what island? I don't even know Jeffrey Epstein. I've never met him. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been living in Canada for life. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but she completely lied.
But she could be telling some whoppers, Ralph. But if what she says is corroborated, maybe parts of it are true. And I think that's really interesting. And supposedly she knows where all the records are. She knows where all the flight records are related to the airplanes that went on to the island.
Really?
But remember, just because someone gets on an airplane and goes to the island doesn't mean that they did anything bad there.
Exactly. Or knew Jeffrey Epstein.
Correct.
This guy was a huge socialite in New York. Everybody wants to be close to the rich, outgoing guy. That's why Trump was so popular in New York.
I think it would be very interesting to find out what was the source of his money. Was he acting on behalf of anybody else? Was he, you know how there's a theory that supposedly he was some kind of an agent?
That's my theory. I've been screaming that for 2 weeks.
Well, wouldn't you want to know if you're
I
right?
think he's either an Israeli spy or a CIA agent. And I think they were blackmailing people.
What a story, though. Wouldn't you want to know the truth of that?
Yes, I do.
So we might know that.
I have a problem with the source.
Okay.
Because
okay.
A, she's a liar, and B, she would say Ralph Bailey was involved to get out from under that jail term. And I've never been to
that's probably
Mar-a-Lago
true.
or any of those places. Never ever.
It's going to be really interesting.
I have been to a freak off, but I've never been to
a freak off. No, you were not at a freak off. Tell me you're not a P. Diddy fan, are you?
No, I'm joking.
By the way, what do you think is going to happen with him? He's going to have sentencing coming around the bend.
He's going to get 30 months?
I think he's going to get.
And then he'll be a pariah.
I think he's going to get 15 months or less.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have a very big sentence.
Wow.
I think he's going to pretty much, well, I mean, any day in jail is not skating, but I think that.
And he's been in for a while, still sitting in there.
I mean, he's going to get credit for all of his time served. So he might, I mean, it is possible that he might actually be able to walk out of the courthouse a free man. Believe it or not.
Could he resurrect his career, in your opinion?
I don't know that much about the
Does
type
that
of
give him
music
street
that he has.
cred, Chris? He's done hard time.
The blonde lady.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Martha Stewart? Oh, come on.
There
you
you
can't
go.
compare Martha Stewart.
She went to prison.
She went to prison. She did some. And they predicted when she went to prison that she was cooked, done. Forget about it.
I thought she
Put
was.
a fork in her, and now she's bigger than ever.
Do you
She's
remember?
bigger than ever.
Do you remember the video or the photos that were taken when she was walking out of was it the prison, the women's prison in Danbury, Connecticut?
Yes, I do actually.
Do you remember what she was wearing?
No.
She was wearing a poncho, like a knitted poncho that kind of looked like a checkerboard kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was made for her by one of the prisoners.
Really?
And supposedly she kept it and she still wears it. So I think that's interesting to say the least. She survived prison. She survived and now she's thrived.
And she's bigger than she's ever been in her life.
And she paid her debt to society.
And what do you know who one of her best friends is?
Snoop Dogg.
That's right.
What do you think about that
I think
duo?
that is
Do they still have
the
their
21st
show?
century. No, but they're still good friends.
Isn't he a good family man now?
He
and
is.
All that?
He is.
Yeah.
He's found the light.
And
he's
he's got
been with the same gal since high school.
Yeah. What's he doing now? Do you know? Does he have a show or something?
Nah, he's doing all kind of things. They're talking about touring again. He's producing movies.
Wow.
He's doing all kind of things.
Well, can I correct something about the Ghislaine Maxwell?
Absolutely.
Okay, you were saying that she's asking for a lot of conditions.
Yeah.
Well, the conditions that she's asking for, those are conditions to her actually appearing pursuant to a subpoena, by Congress.
Yeah.
So she does have some limitations on that, but I think they've already responded and said, we're not going to give you congressional immunity.
Good.
And so I think that's a non-starter,
Good.
really. But the other thing that she had an interview with was Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, and she had no conditions for that interview. It's pretty interesting.
And we haven't heard from Blanche yet, have we?
No, he hasn't said a word.
Yeah.
And also, I think today Dick Durbin went on the Senate floor demanding.
Senator from Illinois.
Correct. He and who else asked for it? Sheldon Whitehouse from Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
He and Dick Durbin got together, and they're the ones that are demanding a transcript and the notes from the Deputy Attorney General's interview with Ghislaine Maxwell.
I think that's a decent request.
I do too.
I'd love to see that in my damn self.
I do too. And boy, if they do that, we'll have a lot of stuff to talk
Yeah,
about.
no kidding. We got a couple of minutes left. Have you heard the story that the president of France is suing Candace Owens?
No.
You haven't heard the story?
No, I haven't.
You and Chris Burdick are the only two people in North America that have not heard this story.
Well, I'm glad to be with Chris.
Candace Owens has gone on her podcast and has declared
she's gone a little crazy.
Wait, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay. I know she's talking about Jewish people all the time.
Well, now she's talking about Brigitte Macron, the First Lady of France.
Oh, okay.
And she is putting her career on the line, her own words, that Brigitte Macron is a man.
It's pretty rough.
And the Macrons, for the first time that I can ever remember, a leader of a nation is suing her for defamation.
Good for them.
Really? You think they can win a defamation suit? You think an international figure can show that she knowingly said this and knowing that she really is a woman? And you got to prove that. And you also have to prove, as you well know, malice, that she did it specifically to hurt.
No, that's not what malice
Macron
means within the meaning of the defamation laws. Malice within defamation means you're not saying it in order to hurt somebody.
But it damages your career.
You're saying it so recklessly, and you didn't.
No, it's West High.
Wibble.
It's
Delano.
It's really bad.
It's so bad. Okay, we're live. So how you been?
Been good. How about you?
Good.
Hugging your ankle?
Horrible. 4 weeks with gout. And then I went and saw Cothry today, and he's going to send me to Echeverry, and they're going to stick a steroid needle in my ankle.
You know, I heard you on there. I had it in my hand, and I had it in my shoulder.
For how long?
What? No, I mean the shot. The
steroid shot?
It wasn't that bad.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
No, it's...
Cothry told me, he said, be prepared. It's a bitch.
The one in the hand really hurt more than the one on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So I guess
they're shoving it in my ankle. Do they move it around once they stick it in?
A little bit. But they numb it a little bit too.
Yeah.
I can do it for you if you want me to.
It's ruining my summer. I haven't played golf in 4 weeks. I literally was just starting to play well.
I told my undersheriff, last time I've been here, Ralph Eddie's the first one that I said yes to.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Right.
It's just...
You've always been fair.
Yeah.
We don't always agree, and
right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is this guy doing now? Plus, he's still getting his pension.
Idea. He gets that no matter what. You can't fire somebody. They can go out and you can fire them. They can still go retire if they have the time.
His first name was Justin, right?
Yes.
All right, you ready? Grab that headset right there. And that silver button controls your volume. Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Tuesday, 29th day of July. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live, kernradio.com. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk more about Ghislaine Maxwell and what she is demanding and what she may have said. We'll get the latest on that. Coming up in the 5, we'll talk a little sports. Arguably one of the greatest second basemen, Ryne Sandberg, passed away at the age of 65. Shohei Ohtani takes the bump in Cincinnati tonight after the Dodgers got off the snide and got a win last night, 5-2. Talk a little bit about that. I've got some other miscellaneous news and notes, and we've yet to check the board, see what you all are talking about. But in the meantime, one of our favorite people is live in studio. You can all see him, those of you subscribing on YouTube. Our Sheriff, Donnie Youngblood, live in studio. How are you, Sheriff?
I'm doing well, Ralph. How about you?
I'm good. Got a bum foot, but other than that, I'm having a horrible summer.
It'll get better.
Yeah, you tell me you even suffered from it, but I've never had it in my upper extremities.
I didn't have gout. I just had soreness and took the shot, the steroid shot, and it was a little discomfort. But
yeah,
you know, I'm not a whiner, and I know you are. So.
I'm a huge whiner. You're going to hear all about the shot tomorrow.
You're a hypochondriac, Ralph.
I really am. No, I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm a horrible patient.
I just told JR, I said, I'd go there and tell Ralph, are you okay? You're not looking right. Give me over to emergency care. Care.
I know the ladies' names at ER. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Ralph. We're talking about Justin Fleeman and the county giving him $300,000, settling out of court, insisting that you fired him because he challenged you. I've known you a long time, and I'm not saying that because you're here. I would say that if we didn't get along, I don't buy that for a minute. I really don't.
No, to put the sequence in play, when the election was over with, deputies came forward and made complaints that he had violated the Peace Officer Bill of Rights. My staff brought me a package and put it on my desk. It was sealed. I instruct them, don't unseal it, of the complaints. Send this down to the county, have the county hire an outside investigator to conduct this investigation. And for the Skelly hearing, have an outside hearing officer, nobody from our department, because I knew how this would end up. So to this day, I've never read what's in that package. So I had nothing to do with the termination. The sheriff's office had nothing to do with the termination. And I think the settlement of $300,000, that, you know, if you get $1 in federal court, you get attorney's fees, and they can be up to over $1 million. So the county decides what's best for the county.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
They made a financial decision.
It's a business decision. Yeah. It certainly is.
Yeah, which is common in situations
happens all
like
the
these.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Just
public
make it go away.
The public loves to say, "Well, look what the sheriff's done." You know, sometimes you have a case that's some cases are better than others. And sometimes you have a case where you can't afford to go to trial because you might lose. And if you lose, it could be millions of dollars. We lost one recently out of Mojave that is pending appeal now, but the judgment was $30 million. And the deputy did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So it's a roll of the dice for sure.
Yeah. I even talked about this during the campaign. And for those that don't remember, Justin Fleeman ran as a one solution candidate where he swore he was going to clean up the sheriff's department. He was going to clean up the adultery and the sex on the job and sex with fellow sheriff deputies and sheriff with the Sheriff Activities League participants. And my question always was, even during the campaign, why didn't you speak up now? Why is this the thesis of your election campaign?
Yeah, he was a bureau chief. And if those things were happening, and some of them were, but it's like I was telling JR a few minutes ago, you didn't sign a contract that says you can't date JR.
Right,
you
exactly.
You both work here.
How do you tell people not to have extramarital affairs?
You don't. What they do off duty is their business.
Yep.
And I'm not the morals police, nor legally can I be the morals police. I can think of more than 25 deputies that have married someone from within the organization and they met on the job. Sometimes that goes south. And when it does, we wind up in cases like this.
Yeah, that's why HR hates inner office dating. But you know, in the 20th century, we've changed and kind of outlawed that. But when I was growing up in the 20th century, it was extremely common. I always point to television. Jim and Robin, Todd Carley and Jackie Parks. Remember the little redheaded weather guy that married Susan Ford, one of the reporters in there? Susie Frankenberger married the sports guy, and
It
they ran
happens.
off. It happens all the time.
And sometimes that goes south, and sometimes they get in trouble, and if they do it. If I make a nexus to the organization, we deal with that because now you've made a nexus to the organization. Sometimes it's easier than other cases. You never know.
Yeah.
They're all different, but it is what it is. And the county called me and talked about a settlement, and I said, I don't care. I've had nothing to do with this case, and I don't plan on having anything to do with it now.
Yeah. Walk us through, Sheriff Donnie Youngblood is our guest. Walk us through what the original disciplinary action that you took against Fleeman and why.
But you're not listening to me. I didn't take any disciplinary action against Justin Fleeman, period.
Okay.
Had nothing to do with it. Have not to this day read the complaint. So I don't know what those allegations were from the other deputies.
So the complaint came from the deputies?
From deputies. That package went to an outside investigator who I've never met to this day, never talked to. That person did an investigation, determined that the allegations were true, and recommended termination. He was then terminated, and then he's given what's called a Skelly hearing, where he goes in, argues his case. And I wouldn't refuse to hear the case. I had him go outside the organization and get a hearing officer, not someone within the organization.
Wow.
So to this day,
that is a lot different than what's being reported.
I'm well aware. To this day, I have not read the complaint, nor do I know what I know. Through rumors. I don't want to mislead you. I've heard rumors what the allegations were, but those are rumors. I've never read the case, never read the allegations, but they were sustained.
Yeah. Let's change gears a little bit. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're busy. And I don't want to talk about what happened in New York. You know as much as we all do from reading the papers and watching television. But my question to you as a law enforcement officer, how have we lost these young men, Sheriff? How have we lost these 18 to 30-year-old men who just given up on life? They're not getting married. They don't know how to socially interact because they're on their phones or in their mother's basement playing war games and whatnot. And we've lost these kids where they don't even have the will to live. And with that, they want to take other people's lives. This kid drove from Las Vegas to New York City to go up to the NFL offices, apparently, and shoot up the place.
Well, what we know is 15 years ago, people didn't charge police officers, deputies, and attack them, and knowing that they have a gun pointed at them. They didn't do that. But things have changed in the last 15 or 20 years. Part of it's the education system. Part of it's this phone, the social media stuff that they're getting. I don't know if they believe there's going to be a second chance or what, but we're seeing violent crime explode. And we're seeing people that are doing things knowing that they probably might die and they don't care.
Yeah.
That's hard to explain in my world. But I do know that sitting at home listening to or looking at the news on phone, not CNN because nobody watches that, but
no, they don't. No, they really don't.
But I do know that sometimes I get really frustrated and I have to put that phone down because I'm really irritated over something I'm seeing or watching or reading, and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
And if you do that 24/7, it'll get to you.
Yeah. And it's amazing the lies that you read. I was watching something and they had Aaron Judge. And if they hadn't gone too far, I would have thought it was real.
Yeah.
But he finally was like, and my manager, Aaron Boone, or whatever his name is, he's an idiot. And I realized that's not Aaron Judge, but it looked like him. It sounded like him. And had they not gone crazy with it, I would have believed, I might have played that on my show.
Another reporter wanted to know, asked the county why I wasn't paying the $300,000. And, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
You'd get nobody to be the sheriff.
Yeah,
or
no
any
kidding.
political office.
No kidding.
Because they make a settlement with someone doesn't mean that. In fact, in this case, it says the county admits no wrongdoing. If this was a solid case, this would have gone to trial. And so it's a strange world we live in for sure.
Yeah.
It's different than what we grew up in, even I'm having a hard time adapting to the lifestyle of what I'm seeing from other people.
Yeah. And I think it begins with school and with parents And
well,
the way
parents
kids,
are working and they're allowing their children on the internet nonstop.
Mhm.
And they can be brainwashed rather easily. We know that that's happening in our schools, in our colleges. We know it's happening with the cell phone, with the social media. Know what your children are doing. Don't let them be on there 24/7.
Yep.
Check. Don't just listen to what they tell you. Go see what they're doing. Get a program that can let you go back and see what they're doing. You're going to get one shot at these kids, and that's going to be it.
Yeah. And no parent wants to do that. Most
No.
parents, they don't want to be.
It keeps them busy.
It's changed. You know, our parents didn't give a damn about being our friends. But it seems to me this generation of parents want to be pals and buddies, and they don't want to take the phone away. Man, take that phone away. People are having dinner, and everybody's looking at their phone at the dinner table.
Yeah, I
crazy.
was telling JR, I said, Ralph and I don't always agree on everything. For example, yesterday we didn't agree on the marijuana issue. And I think you got your eyes wide open yesterday.
Just a little bit.
But if you remember, go back 10, 15 years, all you heard was medicine.
Yeah.
It was medicine. And this sheriff kept telling people, this is not medicine. This is not the 1960s marijuana. This is marijuana that's totally different.
You're absolutely right.
And I was glad to see Jeet Singh come on yesterday because he's an honest man.
Mhm.
And forewarning people, be cautious what you do. It's your life. And if you choose to go down that path, that's totally up to you. In fact, if you remember Charlie Napier, the actor.
Yeah.
Charlie and I we had that conversation about he had drinking a lot. I said, Charlie, I think you're drinking yourself to death. But if you choose to do that, I'll support you because it's your life, not mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave you with this. Running again?
I've got 2-3 more years.
I don't care. Running again?
I haven't. Hope I'm getting up tomorrow morning, Ralph.
Not sure that. I know the feeling, sir. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Always good to see you.
You as well.
Appreciate you doing this for me. I really appreciate
My
you
pleasure.
coming in. Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, everybody. Quick time out. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. Bottom of the hour, we'll get into Ghislaine Maxwell and how credible is she? We'll go over again some of the demands that she's making on Congress who have subpoenaed her and expect her to come to the Capitol on August the 11th. Talk about the life and times of Ryne Sandberg, longtime Chicago Cub second baseman who died at the age of 65. We'll tell you the cause of death. Talk a little Dodger baseball. They got off the snide yesterday with a win over the Cincinnati Reds. And Shohei takes the bump tonight. Quick timeout. Coming right back. It's TRBS right here on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN. Sweet. Thank you, sir. That was great. I really appreciate that.
The real irony of that whole case was I promoted that guy 5 times.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it wasn't right. I knew during the campaign. I knew it.
Sad.
Yeah, because I interviewed him and I was like,
What happens when you're a candidate for any office? You have a group of people telling you the greatest thing ever.
Mhm.
You're the greatest thing. You can do this. You can fix this. You can. Pretty soon you start reading the rhetoric.
right. Start reading your own paper, your own press
Pretty
clippings.
soon you lose and you go, how'd that happen?
All right, Sarah. Take care. Thanks again. That was sweet. That was really good. He's a good guy. Love him. And he listens. He listens pretty consistently. He really does.
Honestly, a lot of cops listen.
Did you hear the Scott comment? God, that was funny. I did not know that was coming out. Yeah, I knew it was
That's
coming
on
out.
sale too at America Ceramics.
But I didn't know
At
it was
America
coming
Ceramics,
out in the public.
everything you need to transform your space is
But I guess
marked
they
down
covered
for
it.
the
It had to be
summer.
in the
From
newspaper.
sleek stone surfaces to bold backsplash tiles, they have it, and it's all on sale. Bring your big ideas to America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue, or visit AmericaCeramics.com to get started.
I know, and how did he get away with
Styles and
that?
savings are going fast, and this summer sale won't last forever. America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue, or visit AmericaCeramics.com to get started.
With America Ceramics, do it in natural stone.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify
What's for dinner?
relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief
What's
they
for
need
dinner?
during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by tax relief advocates for you to call and see what you qualify.
The sheriff
for.
said the
They are
steroid shot isn't that bad.
BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews.
He said he got
Don't
one
wait.
in his
Call
hand and one in his
800
shoulder. He said the one in the
575
hand hurt more than the shoulder.
Doesn't surprise me.
I think because it's my foot is why it's going to hurt. Because they're going to shove it
It's
right.
gonna be like your hand.
Huh?
It'll be more like the hand than the shoulder.
Yeah, it's going to be right in my friggin' ankle, man. This thing's going to.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, you got to get it done.
I know. There's no way I'm limping my way through my vacation.
That's what I'm saying.
No way in the world.
Ceramics. Looking for kitchen
That was
countertops?
great.
It's on sale at America Ceramics. How about shower tile?
Want to thank Sheriff Donnie Youngblood for coming on the program. It was really nice of him. He gave me a really nice compliment. Said, "You're the only one I'm doing this for." It was very cool of him. And as he illustrated in the interview, he listens on the regular. And I think he even watches. By the way, speaking of watches, everybody see my new shirt that I just got yesterday? They had to wear today. I don't know. I just got a little excited. And plus, I'm off next week. So all my clothes are like cleaned and dry cleaned. And I'm going to LA for a couple of days and doing a couple of things. Hopefully, after I get the shot, I can walk. So just such a bad summer so far. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got on the board?
Maxwell is not a reliable source. She's a liar, so why not question the victims?
That's a great question. I'm not sure many of the victims want to be involved. I'm sure there has to be interviews. That's why the Trump administration has to release the papers, because there has to be interviews with those. You can redact the names. But I mean, if you went through that as a teenager, would you want to fly back to Washington and have to testify again? You don't want to have any part of this thing. You don't want to even relive that. I don't know what they're going to get out of this woman. I really don't. As Teresa pointed out, she knows a lot. She knows names. She knows who was there. She knows the big names. You can't prosecute them, but I guess we can out them. I guess. But let's don't forget, everybody is remembering Epstein as this god-awful demon. Well, Maxwell was the demon. She was Satan's pimp. She was the one that would coerce these girls. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. Some older men, but it'll be a ball. It's an island. Everything will be taken care of, your food. Come on, get on the plane. She was herding the sheep, which in some respects, as I look at it, is almost as worse, if not worse. particularly as a woman, a former teenage girl who went through all the rigmarole that women have to go through maturity and gaining your menstrual cycle, and all of a sudden you've got breasts and boys looking at you differently, and you've got to determine, do I give it up or do I not? I mean, I can't imagine being a woman. All the decisions y'all have to make, and she knew that. You would think if anybody would be empathetic and save these girls, it would be another woman. But instead, she was the pimp. She was the one that organized these women. Let us not forget what a heinous human being this woman is and what a dishonest woman she is. Like I said with Teresa, she pretended like she never met Jeff Epstein when they brought her to trial. I don't know. It never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. What else?
Ocho Cinco just needs one more baby mama and 2 more kids to be Chad Ocho double Cinco for real.
No, he's got 8 kids. He just has 7 baby mamas. He just needs 1 baby mama. But I guess you can't have another baby mama if you don't have another kid. So he's going to go 8 and 9. Yeah, I guess he could have a softball team. I don't know. If you weren't with us earlier, we were talking about NFL players with baby mamas, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, like at like 4, 5, 6, you don't think about like, hey, baby, why don't you get on the pill? Or why don't you get a diaphragm?
Why don't you go get snipped?
You would think. Exactly.
First thing I would think if I have 6 kids, I'm like, hey, I'm done. I'm good.
I mean, but these guys just keep going and going and going. If Nick Cannon put some pads on, he'd be on this list. Good googly. And how do you even, like, what do you do on Christmas? You just make phone calls?
Nick Cannon claims he tries to make time for every single one of his kids.
That's what made me think of that interview he did, because they asked him, he was on Charlemagne the God. Is that what you're talking about? And they asked him, what do you do on Christmas? And he says, I try to have them either all at my house, or I go and I make calls, I do this. And I'm like, no.
Ain't no way you get
Ain't
all
no
those
way.
days off
And the
in one day.
birthdays and the Little League games. I mean, to have 9 kids in one house is a mother, let alone have them all over the damn North America. Good googly moogly. Who you got?
You got Phil on the line.
Phil, we got about 2 minutes. You're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Phil, hey Rob, this is your delivery man, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, I got a thing about the gentleman with the CTE, and I want your opinion on this.
All right.
I think that I mean, basketball, baseball, soccer, all that stuff. Football is the remnants of the gladiators, of the human taste for there has to be that contact. It still exists in us. We don't battle. Nobody slays with swords anymore. We need that. We need that team to be on. We need that land. We need that. And they are our gladiators. And I mean, they pay immensely for it.
Yeah.
And they make a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know. I played football my whole life. I just loved it. I never really thought of the violence. I thought as a safety, I loved hitting people because they were probably vulnerable as a safety when I was hitting them, to be honest with you. 3 times I clocked guys coming across the middle. But I never thought of the violence. I just love the sport. I don't know. But you're right. There is a certain Roman Colosseum. I mean, we even call some of the stadiums Coliseum. I grew up at the Coliseum watching the Rams. So I guess, yeah, there is some connection, I suppose. I don't know. We are a very violent nation, as we show every single day. Thanks for the call. Headed into the back half of the hour. It's TRBS. I would stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 11.
Sorry, guys. Thank you. Sorry.
Lisa's tattling on you again.
Oh, good. Thank you, Lisa. No, that's not tattling. That's
No,
we're gonna brother up. I just don't see how she's credible. I just don't see what she. I mean, again, what Golder said was she knows things. She knows names. But what if she like uses that as like leverage? What if she's extorting Congress? Although Congress has nothing to do with her getting a shorter sentence. And then to add to this, Donald Trump spoke openly about this. He talked about why they broke up, he and Jeff Epstein. The media is reporting that they broke up over a real estate deal. He insisted that it had something to do with him, Epstein, stealing his employees, and in particular, the young female employees, and that he thought he was a creep, and he kicked him off Mar-a-Lago. Meantime, here is more from our former federal magistrate judge, Teresa Golder.
There's a rule, I think it's called Rule 35 in the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. And when somebody, let's say someone's convicted, and then later they turn around and they cooperate with the prosecutors could file a motion to reduce their sentence, to change it. But there's a 1-year statute of limitation for that. And that has long passed because she was convicted many years ago.
Right.
But as far as crimes that people may have committed on, what was it called, Epstein Island or the airplane, sure, the statute of limitations would run on that.
So then what's the end game? What's the goal of all this?
People will know what finally happened, and if there are public officials and other people that, how can I say, public figures who were pedophiles, who were involved in this, I think the public do have a right to know.
I just wish this whole thing would go away. And to think this is all self-inflicted. This was all brought about by the Trump administration itself, the people that Donald Trump brought in, like Mr. Bongino, who used to do it on this radio broadcast, ginning up this thing, swearing that there were things that you need to know, that the deep state was keeping this from us. And even Trump campaigned on this. That's why I can't get my arms around this thing. I can't get my brains around this thing, because why would Donald Trump pump this thing up as he did during the campaign if he's remotely involved? And why did Pam Bondi, the file, the list was on her desk? Why did she invite those influencers to the White House? Think about where those people came from all across the country, thinking, I'm going back home to KERN with the goods. And you know, on their Friday broadcast, before they got on a plane for DC, they pumped up to their audiences, when I get back, we're going to have it. And they walked out of the White House. Remember that? They walked out of the White House with the pamphlets or the booklets, holding up like, we got it, we got it. And they ran back to their hotel in Virginia, and they went through it, and it was like, there's bupkis in here. I knew all this. The whole thing is so kooky. But now we're neck into it, and the only thing is to interview this woman and to release what you can. I think the Trump administration knew good and doggone well the courts were not going to allow grand jury testimony to get out. And now Trump can say, I tried, but the courts wouldn't let me. And I've told Pam Bondi to release anything and everything that she can. I really haven't looked at it much. It ain't going away. It ain't going away. And it's killing his administration, because yesterday should have been a gargantuan day for the Trump administration. Getting the EU on board, getting 27 nations on board. And stocks have never been higher, never, in the history of America. And that's all getting overshadowed, I think, by this idiotic Epstein thing and the debate that's going on in the country, whether or not we should be rounding up undocumented workers, illegal immigrants who have kept their nose clean and are part of our community. There are gardeners, there are housekeepers, there are farm workers. And are we really doing ourselves a service by getting rid of these people? And again, as I've said repeatedly, think what a hero and how high his numbers were if ICE so actively and aggressively simply went after criminals. Just criminals, period. But now there's a state of fear among workers. I've talked to some farm workers, farm owners, farmers who have said their people are afraid to come to work. Their kids are not going to school. I heard that up in the North County. Somebody living in Delano told me that. Some kids aren't even going to school for fear that they'll be rounded up. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's go ahead and take a break. Step aside and come back and read some text messages, see what you all are talking about. When we get into the 5, we'll reset our top story of the day. Talk a little bit about the life of Ryne Sandberg. 65, man, that is just stupid young. Stupid young. And the Dodgers, game 2 of their road trip, well, game 5 actually, but game 2 in Cincinnati, where Shohei Ohtani goes tonight. How long are you going to let him go?
4 at the latest.
Yeah, I think they'll let him go 4. He went. Did he go 4 the last time or 3?
I think
he went 3.
So
yeah.
far.
Let's see how he hits.
That's my concern.
Striking out a lot. And what's sad when he strikes out is I and John Smoltz can predict, as Smoltzy did on television the other day, can totally predict. Smoltzy called it. He's like, he's going to go up in the zone, and Shohei's not going to catch up to it. And that ball is about 6 inches out of the strike zone, and Shohei swung. It's either that or it's the sweeping slider that he goes chasing after, which I really don't understand. And the other thing to watch for tonight, well, it's already started, so do not text me with scores, please. I'm DVRing. He's watching a lot of first pitches. Like I said, I was a leadoff hitter, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. And a lot of times, first pitch of the ball game, I would always say, he is going to pipe this. It's the first pitch of the ball game. He's either going to pipe it or he's going to miss so badly, I don't have to worry about it. So I would always try to swing on the first pitch of the ball game. Because a lot of times that first pitch, best pitch you're going to see in the whole at bat. We're stepping aside, coming right back on this Tuesday. It's the Ralph Bailey Show, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we stream live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1.
Best maker.
You got one?
I got one.
Armstrong and Getty show the Democratic Party sees they're less popular than ever. Their reaction is not going to help. Plus, what happened to all that money donated for the Southern California wildfire victims?
We'll talk about a dumb new term that will make you wish you hadn't turned into the Armstrong and Getty show at all. Man keeping. What is it? Next, Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
We have an employee that we all adore, young Lisa, and her husband recently retired. And right before he did that, and I didn't coerce her, she listens to the program, she hears Daniel Petrie on Thursdays, and he became a client at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And if you're staying retirement in the mug like I strongly suggest you call Daniel at 395-9400, 395-9400, or tune in on Thursdays when he joins us at 4:30, talking about retirement, the stocks, deficit, what's going on in DC, and most importantly, how it impacts you and your wallet. Tune in on Thursdays, 4:30 for Daniel Petrie with Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, future option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or NPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
420 Kingdom, call us and we'll bring them in less than an hour. Call 777 King.
Hey, Bakersfield, 420 Kingdom just leveled up. You asked, we delivered. 1 hour delivery guaranteed or get 20% off. 20% off. Royal rewards that stack every time you order. Exclusive new drops, bigger selection, and fresh daily deals. Plus, no delivery fee on orders over $50. But we didn't stop there. Visit our new pop-up shop at Luxor Lounge, 3015 Callaway Drive. Open 7 days a week. Same top shelf products. Order online and pick up at Luxor. Visit 420kingdom.com or Luxor Lounge today. Get premium cannabis delivered fast, fresh, reliable. Must be 21 years of age or older, 18 or older with medical card. California license C12 0000405.
420 Kingdom, call us and we'll bring them in less than an hour. Call 777 King.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
in Manhattan, and talk a little bit about Ryan Sandberg. Great second baseman. Grew up with him in the 70s and the 80s. He was involved in one of the great games. I think it was the Cubs and the Phillies. And it went like 14, 15 innings. And it was, we used to have, Chris, what was called Saturday's Game of the Week, where you got one national game a week. On Saturday, I think it would start normally because it was an East Coast game at 11 o'clock in the morning. And please stand by. Matt Riley. This ought to be rich. Cubs versus Cardinals. Ah, my bad. Only a devout Cardinal fan would know that and text in to tighten me up. Who cares? Yeah, exactly. No, Ralph. No. It was against the Cardinals.
What's funny is he must have texted immediately too, because that was not a 2-minute delay.
I know. And how long? How long did the game go, Matt? Because I vaguely remember. All I remember is I kept trading home runs, and then I think Sandberg finally hit the go-ahead home run to win it, and I think he also hit a home run to tie it at one point. He might have hit like 3 or 4 home runs that game. I can't remember, but he was a badass second baseman. Who would you go with? But you don't know Joe Morgan. You didn't really see Joe Morgan play.
Not the whole time.
You know, I never thought Joe Morgan was that good until I looked at his numbers and I started remembering what a Dodger killer he was, because I hated the Reds. You got to remember, when I was growing up, this was the National League West, believe it or not. The Dodgers, the Giants, the Houston Astros, the Atlanta Braves. And I would always ask my dad, I'd be like, now, wait a minute. I was born in Atlanta, Pop. I'm pretty sure I know where Atlanta is. And he just kind of grinned. How are they a city in the deep South in the National League West?
Well, remember the Atlanta Falcons were also in the NL West for a
Were
while.
they really?
NFC West for a while.
Crazy. Just made no sense. Made absolutely no sense.
Where the Panthers came in and made the NFC South what it is today.
Oh, he hit it off Bruce Sutter. That's right. Who at that point was the Dennis Eckersley. He was Dennis Eckersley before Dennis Eckersley. He was absolutely untouchable, Bruce Sutter. Had a killer splitter that nobody could touch. Speaking of splitters, Yoshinobu Yamamoto got a win last night. Pitched really well. And then Dave Roberts almost screwed the pooch by bringing in a guy in a save situation who hasn't pitched in 3 months. Is it me? I know I criticize every damn coach down the pike, and I pretend like I know more about the sport than these guys who've been doing it for a living for 30, 40 years. But do you really have to be a genius to know that you don't take a guy off the IL and let him debut with a 3-run lead? And he damn near screwed the pooch, loaded the bases before we finally went and got him. And then who'd you say came in and put out the fire?
Dreyer, I believe.
Yeah. I told you I like Dreyer. Remember I said that a couple of months ago? I said, this kid is tough because he's supposed to be a starter. We made him a closer. I still think Shohei should be a closer.
Thank you. I've been saying that for months.
Well,
Actually, no, I said that and you gave me grief for it.
Even a broken clock is right twice. Even a broken clock. Well, what do you got on the board before we get into the 5? We're going to talk about more baseball.
Have you seen that video of Adrian Peterson tweaking on the street?
No, is he gone south?
This is news to me. This must be an old video.
Adrian Peterson, who was supporting 5 baby mamas and 6 children. This list is just mind-boggling to me. I didn't know Ocho Cinco had 7 baby mamas and 8 kids.
Doesn't surprise me.
I don't know why it surprises me. I liked him up until Hard Knocks. That was one of the most tragic Hard Knocks. Do you remember when the Bengals were on Hard Knocks?
This season I think I skipped, or I didn't skip it, but I may not have seen it.
No, this was years ago when Ocho was playing.
Right.
And it's one of the most tragic things I've ever seen. It was like it was scripted. It's the end of an episode, and Ocho is leaving the facility, and one of the coaches says, "Stay out of trouble." And he's like, "Oh, come on, you know me, coach. I'm just gonna lay low and just hang out. I'm Ocho. You know I don't go clubbing and whatnot." The next day, he puts his hands on his wife and goes to jail and his career was never the same. Bengals walked away from him, and then he went, I don't know where he went. He kind of bounced around for a little bit, but he was at one point probably the best wide receiver in football for about 2 years.
Yeah, if that.
He was unbelievable. Unbelievable. He was dancing and doing all the different touchdown deals, and it was as if it was scripted. It was the last moment of the episode and the last thing the coach said to him. "Stay out of trouble this weekend, Ocho. Come on, man. What kind of trouble can I get into?" And the very next day, he slapped his woman around and never played for the Bengals again. It was tremendous. Did you hear who they're going with this year?
Oh, the Buffalo.
Hard Knocks. Yeah, shuffling off to Buffalo. That would be interesting.
Went from Bill Belichick to Buffalo.
Oh, that's right, because the girlfriend screwed that up.
Yup.
I would have much rather had seen Bill down in North Carolina. Because the Bills, that's going to be boring.
It's going to be an interesting.
There's no quarterback controversy.
Although you're going to get a lot of clips probably from his wedding with what's her name?
Oh, that's right. He just got married. Another Central Valley boy. It is amazing the number of athletes we produce. It really, truly is.
You're a gold mine.
We really are, particularly for quarterbacks. I mean, Darryl LaMonica, Derek Carr, Dave Carr,
Cody Kessler,
Terrence Trent D'Arby, who turned singer to football player.
Jordan Love.
No, who am I talking about? Won a Super Bowl for Tampa Bay. Well, come on. He just got in trouble for something. He got in trouble for yelling at kids. He's coaching football in Tennessee. Hurry up before Matt Riley, Texas.
Coaching in Tennessee?
High school.
Oh.
Played for the Bucks, then played for Baltimore. Come on.
Not Trent Dilfer. No.
Yes, Trent Dilfer. He's a Central Valley boy.
Is he really?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Isn't he? Somebody tighten me up. Isn't he from Hey Siri, what's the boy's name? What's the child's name?
Trent Dilfer.
Where did Trent Dilfer grow up?
Santa Cruz, yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Central Valley boy. Oh,
I didn't realize he was from California. To be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Just saying. It's incredible. Incredible. Final hour of the broadcast. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to replay our interview with Sheriff Donnie Youngblood for those of you who missed it. Spent about 15, 16, 17 minutes with the sheriff talking about the Justin Fleeman case. We talked about the situation with New York and mass shootings and losing our kids and talked about a couple of things with the sheriff. We'll re-air that at 5:30 for you. And then wrap this thing up. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Tuesday. Just a couple of days before all my guest hosts, our guest hosts, Kathy Abernathy filling in on Monday, Teresa Golder on Tuesday. Still have not heard from Howard Marcus. Romeo Agbalog, special counsel to Stephen Bloomberg, chancellor of the KCCD, and Rick Bentley on Friday. Headed into the 5, don't go anywhere.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The man who killed 4 people in the New York City skyscraper that's home to NFL headquarters carried a note blaming the league for the cognitive problems he developed as a high school football player. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
The suicide note found in his possession at the scene spoke to a possible motive in the shooting and may explain why he targeted NFL headquarters. In that note, Mr. Tamura claimed to be suffering from CTE, possibly from playing high school football, and he blamed the NFL. He also writes, "Study my brain. I'm sorry."
CTE has been linked to concussions in contact sports. The disease has been diagnosed in more than 100 former NFL players and arisen as an existential threat to the United States' most powerful pro sports league. Democrats are deciding whether to help Republicans confirm several Trump nominations or force the body to stay in session next month.
Normally, the Senate would break from its labors to take an extended August recess, allowing members to leave D.C. and catch up on work and maybe some relaxation in their home states. But this year may be different, with Republicans under pressure to confirm Trump nominees and Democrats divided on whether to help expedite the process or force more delays. Some Democrats are holding out for concessions from Republicans in exchange for their cooperation. Others say they want to slow down the confirmations, even if that means nobody gets to break for the August recess. Bob Agnew reporting.
Residents in the southeast U.S. are no strangers to hot weather in the summertime, but the sweltering heat this week set at least one record, and forecasters urged residents to limit being outside and to hydrate. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 204 points, the Nasdaq dropped 80. More at townhall.com.
If you're living with pain, see how Relief Factor can help.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about Relief Factor from my wife. I took it every day, 3 times a day for 3 weeks. Looked at her and I said, "The pain is gone." And she said, "I'm glad it helped." I said, "No, you don't understand. It's gone."
Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com and get your 3-week quick start today. Only $19.95.
Hi, this is Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. We make the amazing Solaire infrared gas grills that are built to last and will consistently deliver better than restaurant grilled food. The Solaire infrared burner heats up to 1,000 degrees in just 3 minutes, even in the dead of winter. The high heat locks in the juices and flavor and grills food faster. Learn more about these fantastic USA-made grills at BestHotGrill.com. Solaire hot, fast grills at BestHotGrill.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'm Bill Robbins. Police officers are investigating a homicide near Westside High School that happened at around 9:45 Sunday night in the 4600 block of Roberta Way. The coroner's office has ID'd the victim as 19-year-old Landon O'Ryan Worthy of Bakersfield. They say he was shot on Roberta Way and managed to get to Nimrod Court. Police say he was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspect information is available. Anyone who knows anything is asked to contact the Bakersfield Police Department. A crash leaves one victim dead and a man under arrest for driving under the influence in East Bakersfield. It happened just after 12:30 Sunday morning. BPD responding to the crash on Fairfax Road south of Alfred Harrell Highway. Officers say that a black pickup and a silver sedan were involved. The driver of the sedan was dead by the time officers got there. The driver of the pickup, Juan Rangel, had minor injuries. Detectives say that Rangel was heading south on Fairfax, but veered into the northbound lane, crashing into the sedan. Rangel will be charged for DUI and vehicular manslaughter. A tentative agreement between Albertsons companies and workers for Albertsons, Safeway, and Bond stores in Northern and Central California. The deal includes wage increases, a fortified retirement plan, and properly funded health care benefits.
If I could be with you all my life, then I would be with you. I'd be anything but blue. If only I could be with you.
Information from individuals and thousands of pet partners across the country goes into the database. The technology allows you to upload a picture of an animal, and the facial recognition technology will show if that pet has been reported missing. Pet owners are encouraged to register their pets on Petco Love in advance. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
If only I could be with you.
What do you think? This is the army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post like this. Then a bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Tuesday, 29th day of July. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live, kernradio.com. Still lots to do in our final hour. We'll recap our lead story for the nation, really. The story of a young man who grew up in Los Angeles, actually grew up in the Santa Clarita area. In his early high school years, he played football for Golden Valley High School in Santa Clarita. Then he moved into the San Fernando Valley at his senior year, played for Granada Hills Charter School, which again is not to be confused with Granada Hills High School, where John Elway matriculated. And I've talked about, I got to see Elway play baseball. I never saw him play football, but my buddy, John Temper, who I allude to quite a bit, who's one of my high school best friends, lived in Northridge. And he just kept saying, you got to come out here and see this kid play. You really do. And I'm like, how good can he be, John? And it's like, I'm telling you, this guy is a superstar. And this is before everybody started going to their knees. You know, I forget who started that. Maybe Manny Sanguillen, who Chris has never heard of. Never heard of Manny Sanguillen. From the Pittsburgh Pirates, We Are Family. But he would sit on his knees and throw guys out from his knees. We went and finally saw him at Granada Hills High School. And he played catcher, center field, and he was a pitcher. And he was huge for a high school kid. He was like 6'2". And I had never seen anything like it. I'd never seen anything like it. He was throwing behind. I mean, he just loved to throw. He was throwing behind, like if there was a left-handed batter, he would throw behind the batter and pick the guy off at first base. And I was like, God, and he's smart. You know what I'm saying? To throw behind the guy, because at first base, you can't really see that. And he was just absolutely brilliant. But this kid insisted, and they're now piecing together why he went to that building. And think about the research. I guess with computers now on the internet, you don't have to do a lot of research to figure out where the NFL offices are. A kid who's probably never been to New York City in his life. And one day he just decides he didn't go to work that day, jumped in his car and drove from Las Vegas. And he did Vegas to New York in 2 days. Weren't we just talking about cross-country trips and how my dad and I did LA to Beaufort in like 3 days? This kid did Vegas to New York in 2. So he was on drugs and just drove the whole time. He never slept. There's no way you can do Vegas to New York in 2 days by yourself if you stop and sleep. He was on probably those drinks and maybe little uppers. Who knows? We'll find out in the autopsy, obviously. And as you probably heard at the top of the hour, he left a suicide note insisting that he had CTE. And much like 2 very famous football players, Junior Seau and Dave Duerson, you guys know who Seau was, played for the Chargers for years and then tried to go to New England and get a Super Bowl ring. And the 1 year the Patriots didn't win, right? Seau never won a Super Bowl. He was on that New England team the 1 year they didn't win, right? That's what I thought was always tragic about his career, that he never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was on the team that lost.
Yeah. You can make a good argument. He's the best, certainly one of the best players not to win a Super Bowl. Who's the best player not to win a Super Bowl? I got it. Not even close, in my opinion.
Probably Dan. No, I'm sorry.
Dan Marino?
No,
That's not bad. That's not
probably
bad. That's not bad. I think I would trump you with Barry Sanders.
Oh, that's right. Barry never won one. No,
Barry never got out of the damn first round. That's why he quit.
Yeah. Well,
He
no,
said,
quit
screw
'cause the
this.
Lions would let him go.
He said, screw this. We're not doing anything. They lost a playoff game 19-10 to Baltimore. And he just said, I just saw this interview a couple days ago. And he said, I knew when I walked on the field the last time that it was going to be my last time. And only me and my dad knew. But he knew. And he was voted the most elusive back in NFL history. I don't know. Gale Sayers might have a problem with that. Orenthal James might have a problem with that. I don't know. I was always soft on Orenthal. And guess who the general managers of the WNBA elected the best point guard in basketball? Go ahead, take a guess, Chris. Go ahead. Just take a wild stab.
I'm gonna guess it's some white girl out in Indiana.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Caitlin Clark. Now, for those that weren't with us a couple of days ago, you're asking yourself, why, Ralph? What do we care? Because to illustrate, and I'm sorry, it's not petty jealousy. It's not bitterness. It's racism. It's flat out racism that these black girls in the WNBA cannot recognize that they have Tiger Woods. They have Tiger Woods, and they don't even realize that. You show me somebody other than maybe Arnold Palmer, who came along right when television was starting to focus on golf, and they needed a swashbuckler. You imagine if Julius Burrows had been the face of golf when TV started? But they've got this good-looking, swashbuckling guy who would lose dramatically. He lost a Masters on the last hole. He three-putted once and lost the U.S. Open. It went into a playoff, and he lost it. He'd go for broke. He was the perfect guy to introduce golf to television. And he absolutely changed the sport. Tiger Woods absolutely changed the sport. I'm telling you, as a young African-American who played golf, I got crap from the brothers in my neighborhood because I played golf. Oh, look at Lord Fauntleroy is going to play golf. Look at Ralph with his little golf shoes on. And I would like skulk to my dad's car or my uncle's car, whoever was dropping me off at the golf course. Fast forward to the late 1990s, and black kids are running to golf courses. Tiger Woods single-handedly made golf cool within the black community. Truly did. Changed the sport. You can't even say that about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was incredibly popular, arguably the most popular player to ever play the game, but he didn't change the sport. You know who changed the sport?
Steph.
Magic and Bird changed the sport. Before you were born, Chris, and before Magic and Bird got into the league, even while they were in the league at the very beginning. In fact, the game where Magic scored 42 points, 17 rebounds, and 9 assists because Kareem was back in Brentwood, they televised the finals on tape delay at 11:30 at night. How do I know that? Because I had to do extra chores to be able to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch the Laker game. And my father used to taunt me, you know I know the score. Oh, come on, Dad, don't do that. Your mama wants you to go to bed. I'm going to tell you the score. Come on, Pop. All right, I won't tell you. You would have to try to keep yourself ignorant. Magic and Bird changed the game. And Caitlin Clark has absolutely got these girls off of commercial planes. They're flying charters. They voted her the 9th best guard in the league. And the guys and the women that pick and actually give jobs selected her number 1. So don't tell me it's not racism. I think there is part of, and ladies, you can get mad at me, you won't, but this is the truth. Y'all can be a little catty. You really can be. And that's part of it. Because a lot of the blowback she's getting is coming from some of the white players who think that she's been anointed. And as Chris said, one of the guys that has changed the game in the NBA is Steph. Well, guess what? She's the female Steph. I was watching some highlights of her last night where she's just coming up and just chucking it. And you're like, that ain't going in. And it ain't nothing but net. Nobody's ever done that in the league. Like I said a couple of weeks ago when I first started talking about this, it was 42 games whenever we talked about it 2 games ago. And she really hasn't played that many games since because she's been injured. But let's say she's played 50 games. She's got more 25-point, 10 rebound games than anybody in the history of the sport. Did you hear what I just said? Caitlin Clark has more 25 points, 10 rebounds in one game, more than Cheryl Miller, more than Lisa Leslie, Swoops, who's the hottie that's a lesbian on TNT? Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi, who, by the way, played 565 games. Caitlin's done it. Taurasi's second to Caitlin Clark. And it took her almost 600 games to get there. Caitlin passed Taurasi in about 50 games. She is the WNBA. They set a record in the All-Star game last year. Most attendance ever, our viewers, 3.2. With her out of the All-Star game this year, they did 2.2. Okay? It dropped off $1 million because she wasn't there. But 2.2 is the second highest ever. Just her presence in the league has elevated it. And her presence in the game elevates it even more. And yet, Angel Reese is down there getting rebounds because the ball is coming right back to her because she misses so many damn layups. It's amazing. Quick timeout. Are we going to have enough time? I went long. Oh, no, we're doing it at 5:30. We're going to read it at 5:30. Yeah, my bad. We'll come back and check the board. We haven't done that yet. See what you guys are talking about. Then the bottom of the hour, we're going to re-air our interview with Sheriff Donnie Youngblood. He was with us at 4 o'clock earlier in the program. Short break. Coming right back. It's TRBS on a Tuesday right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1.
Do you want to do KC or want me to play it?
Play it.
It's the JR Show.
Let me explain to you why Andre Gonzalez winning the assembly seat is a good thing. He goes to Sacramento. He's one of what? A super majority where his vote really doesn't matter. Let's be honest. It doesn't. It's not going to make a difference. But his vote on the city council, now that matters. You take him out of that equation, plug in somebody else in there, this city starts to look a lot different. Bye, Assemblyman Andre Gonzalez. Hello, City Councilman.
The JR Show. Weekdays at 2 p.m.
Okay, I know. Casey's Steakhouse closed on 4th of July, but they'll certainly be back open this weekend. And after barbecuing or going to somebody's house on Friday, you're certainly not going to want to cook. Why not head to F Street and have one of the best steaks you'll have ever. Or stop by the Stockyard next door. You know, with the Battle of the Bartenders, I found that a lot of you have gone to Casey's Steakhouse and aren't even aware of the Stockyard next door, the speakeasy type bar that Cassia set up. It's been an absolute game changer. You can have dinner. You can enjoy some of their craft cocktails. It is a banquet hall, so you can have meetings there. You can have election night parties, as Kathy Abernathy does. It is a great venue and a great place to have a cocktail after dinner in the main restaurant.
If I wasn't going on
where
vacation,
Jimmy
I
and
wouldn't
Bobby
get
are
this
playing
damn
live
shot.
music, and there's an acoustic guitar player in the
I wouldn't.
Stockyard as well. Casey's
There's no way I'm
Steakhouse,
doing this next week.
longtime
There's no way.
sponsors of
I'm
the
just
Ralph
laying
Bailey
around my
Show.
apartment all
Diabetes,
week
high
long.
blood pressure,
There's no
anxiety
way.
meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old
Well, we'll
male,
see. I
even
get my
40, and
blood
may
test
even
back
have
tomorrow.
Type 2 diabetes. $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a
He's going to
month.
call me and tell me what to
Term
do.
Provider.
He's going to
Speak
tell
with
me go
Big
get
Lou.
the shot,
800-555-1509.
or there's not that much
Lou will
uric
find a
acid,
term
so
life
don't worry about
policy
it.
for
It
you,
will drain
even
out
if
in
you
a couple
have
of
type 2
days.
diabetes or overweight or have
I
high
don't know what
blood
he's going to
pressure.
tell me.
Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509
Can't drink and now I can't even smoke weed.
or BigLou.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy,
Thank you.
SelectQuote could
Or
save
heavy
you more
drinking.
than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
Skelly.
Or go to SelectQuote.
Skelly, the guy that I told you that did 100 bunions.
743-8080. That's 1-800.
He is, no, Skelly is. Skelly works out. Oh, yeah.
We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. The Charlie Kirk Show.
Skelly wakes and bakes.
On News Talk
And he's a U.S. attorney.
96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the
Yeah.
Bailey Show.
Yeah. 842-5376, 842-KERN. It looks like our friend went and got her car.
Oh, snap.
Isn't the Rolls gone? I just see the T-Bird. We've got
It's gone.
we're in a business complex that not a lot of people. It's weird. I've had Uber drivers that have lived here for 30 years, 40 years,
Never been in here.
and didn't know it existed. Didn't know this thing existed back here. And we live in the Easton Business Complex, which is right across the street from the we're surrounded by hotels. There's the new Hampton Inn that they built, and we're right next door to the Ghetto Motel 6. We're right up the street from Marie Callender's. We're just west of the 99. And the complex has got we're suite 134. So I'm guessing they've got about 150 businesses.
Somewhere about that.
We have 3 of the suites, sales, corporate, and the studios. We're all located in different areas. And in fact, I had a buddy who I used to hang out with in Mexicali back in the day, had been working here for 10 years. I'd been here for about 5 years. And we bumped into each other and was like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "I work here." And he's like, "Really? I work here." And he's an accountant. He works like right over there, right around the corner, an accountant's firm. But one of the businesses is doing and I'm giving them some love, so they ought to give me some. But they're doing what do they call them? Not executives. Estate sale. And they had a nice Rolls Royce, and I won't tell anybody's business, but we know who bought it, or at least according to JR.
Oh, no, he got the confirmation.
Yeah. And it's gone.
So she picked it up there. And
Yeah.
took it with her.
And then there's like an old it looks like a Ford T-Bird, like something out of the 30s, which would be a cool car to have, just
Really novelty item.
just to ride around on the weekends and stuff, or on a Sunday evening. Or is it a convertible? I think it's a convertible. It looks like something John Dillinger would drive in a stick up. It's a really cool car. You guys went in there, didn't you?
For a brief second, yeah.
Yeah. Anything worth buying?
I didn't get a chance to actually look at everything. It was a lot of just older stuff, antique-like stuff.
Yeah, I love estate sales.
Yeah, so I would go in there and check it out. It looked like it was all very well priced. I mean, the giant bronze statue outside.
I'm looking
about
at it.
3,500
I'm looking
dollars.
at it. 3,500. He said it was worth 12 G's.
That's what he said. It's made in Mexico. It's pure bronze. It was 12 G's.
The hell would you do with that? Put that in your foyer or your home?
That's what he said, is that apparently it was in Santa Barbara outside of somebody's pool for a long time.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Very good. What do you got on the board?
Ralph Magic and Bird emulated Pistol Pete Maravich.
Magic certainly did. Yeah. I think Magic talked about that. Pete Maravich is one of the great underrated players of all time. He had a horrible relationship with Bird. He only played with the Celtics Bird's rookie year, and Bird just trashed him. Like, according to Kevin McHale, there's a story where Maravich was complaining that Bird wasn't coming to the ball when they double team him. And Bird said something like, "If you weren't so bad, they wouldn't be double teaming me," or something like that. I don't know. He just dogged Pete Maravich, who is the scoring leader in NCAA basketball. And can you imagine the points he would have scored with a three-point shot? He averaged one season at LSU, playing for his dad. He averaged, I think, 44 points a night. A night. So you put a three-point line, and that's 60 points a night easy. Easy. Because he wasn't shooting 18-footers. He was shooting 22, 23-footers. He was a magician with the basketball. He really was. And died playing basketball. Had a heart attack playing pickup basketball. I guess that's the way you want to go. It's like Bing Crosby. Died walking off a golf course in Spain. I guess that's the way I want to go. I don't want to go in my sleep. I don't want the cops go looking like, God, look at this slob. One more. Let's get to the bottom of the hour.
Come on, Ralph. You can't talk about football talent in the Valley and not throw out Stephen Neal and Joey Porter. And let's not forget current times either with Jordan Love, the local Liberty boy, which we mentioned Jordan's name.
We did mention Jordan's name, and we would have mentioned Joey and all the different football players. We were just talking quarterbacks at the time. I just mentioned quarterback. I mean, are you kidding me? All the football players that came out of here. I would have mentioned my best friend, Mike Arier, a Garces kid who went to San Diego State, played for the Green Bay Packers and played for Bill Parcells. In fact, I saw him just the other night. He pops up every night. They have the Parcells compilation of him yelling at players. You should have known him pre-snap, Romo. And then he's yelling at the classic is when he's yelling at LT, but he realizes he can't yell at LT. So LT's walking by and he goes, some guys got to get their heads out of their ass. He doesn't say LT. He doesn't say 56, but he kind of looks at him. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And you can totally see, and you're like, who is he talking about? And then LT walks by, and you can totally tell he's talking to LT without talking to LT because nobody messed with LT. LT was a phenomenal guy. He really was. They talk about him sleeping during the meetings, and then Belichick would ask him about something, and he'd get on the board and chart it out perfectly. And it'd be like, no, that's why we let the guy sleep. He was a savant. He was just a football genius. And I think, no disrespect to Aaron Donald, Dick Butkus, Deacon Jones, I think he's the greatest defensive player in the history of the game. I remember that Thanksgiving game where he had like 5-4 sacks and he literally stole a touchdown away and then ran it back for a touchdown for like 90 yards and beat Detroit 7-0. Last half hour, Sheriff Donnie Youngblood is next.
News Talk 96.1.
Hey, Siri.
AM 1180 KERN.
Call Coconut Joe's.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Police say a gunman who killed 4 people in a Manhattan skyscraper before taking his own life claimed to have a brain disease linked to contact sports and was trying to target the National Football League's headquarters in the building.
Hi, I'd like to make an order for delivery. To go.
Says investigators believe the gunman wanted to get
Ralph?
up to the NFL's offices on Monday, but entered the wrong elevator.
661-619-6571.
Missiles have struck a Ukrainian prison and the medical facility as Russia's
I'm gonna do the two-piece chicken, dark,
killed at least
with
27
beans and
people
rice,
across Ukraine.
no bread,
The attacks came
and 2
despite
sauces.
President Trump's threat to punish Russia with
That's
sanctions
it.
and tariffs unless it stops the barrages. On Wall
I'll be
Street,
there at
we're down
6.
by 204 points.
Thank you.
More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'm Bill Robbins. Police officers are investigating a homicide near Westside High School. It happened at around 9:45 Sunday night in the 4600 block of Roberta Way. The coroner's office has ID'd the victim as 19-year-old Landon O'Ryan Worthy of Bakersfield. They say he was shot on Roberta Way and managed to get to Nimrod Court. Police say he was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspect information is available. Anyone who knows anything is asked to contact the Bakersfield Police Department. A tentative agreement between Albertsons companies and workers for Albertsons, Safeway, and Vons stores in Northern and Central California. The deal includes wage increases, a fortified retirement plan, and properly funded health care benefits. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are
I got to turn my
Medicare,
mic off
looking
during
for a
the
doctor
interview,
who listens,
right?
cares about you with minimal wait
I got to
times
turn my
and
mic off
referral
during the interview.
authorizations. It's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA.
Well, that's actually what I was going to ask. Are we going to keep the video on during the interview?
Should I turn it off? Might as well. You're right. Yeah, I'll just turn it off.
That's what I'm thinking. Because when we come back from break anyway, all we're gonna do is what? Text messages.
Probably. Talk
like
a
we
little
could
bit
really
about
probably
Ryan
just turn it off
Sandberg.
right now.
Huh?
We would probably just turn it off right now.
All right.
So I'm thinking in my head.
No, but then they'll think we're done.
Oh, true.
I'll just hit the mic.
All right. Well, actually, hold off on doing that. I'll just turn yours off because if you turn that off, they won't hear the interview on the stream at all.
Oh, true.
So when we get in, just walk in here and I'll turn it
All
off
right.
for you. And I will need you to intro it too. I didn't keep the
know.
intro on it.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Wednesday edition of the First Look program, we'll talk medicine with our friend
I always
Dr.
have a hard
Viv
time getting
Dev.
this
We'll
damn
talk to
thing
one
off.
of the
I don't
money
know
wise
why.
guys who happens to be a gal. We will do the news quiz with John Cox from the Bakersfield, California, and we'll back all of that up with state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at KERN.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Just one look at you.
And I know it's gonna be a lovely day, 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 lovely day.
When the day that lies ahead of me
Seemed impossible to think. Bill Withers! Earlier in the broadcast, we had the great opportunity, and again, I want to thank the sheriff for taking time and even coming live in the studio with us to talk about the situation with Justin Fleeman, the sheriff deputy. What did he call him? Not a coordinator, a bureau chief, or, well, we'll hear it in the interview. We had talk about the fact that the county has settled with Mr. Fleeman, who sued, insisting that the sheriff fired Mr. Fleeman because he challenged the sheriff for his position. And in my opinion, nothing would be further from the truth. Here is our discussion earlier with our High Sheriff, Donnie Youngblood.
One of our favorite people is live in studio. You can all see him. Those of you subscribing on YouTube, our Sheriff, Donnie Youngblood, live in studio. How are you, Sheriff?
I'm doing well, Ralph. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Got a bum foot, but other than that, I'm having a horrible summer. Horrible summer.
It'll get better.
Yeah, you tell me you even suffered from it, but I've never had it in my upper extremities.
I didn't have gout. I just had soreness and took the shot, the steroid shot. It was a little discomfort, but
yeah,
you know, I'm not a whiner. I know you are.
I am. I'm a huge one. You're going to hear all about the shot
You're
tomorrow
a
at 3
hypochondriac,
o'clock.
Ralph.
I really am. I really am. No, I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm a horrible patient.
I just told JR, I said, I'd go in there and tell Ralph, are you okay? Look, you're not looking right. Give me over to emergency care. Emergency care.
I know the ladies' names at ER. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Ralph. We're talking about Justin Fleeman and the county giving him $300,000, settling out of court, insisting that you fired him because he challenged you. I've known you a long time, and I'm not saying that because you're here. I would say that if we didn't get along, I don't buy that for a minute. I really don't.
No, to put the sequence in play, when the election was over with, deputies came forward and made complaints that he had violated the Peace Officer Bill of Rights. My staff brought me a package and put it on my desk. It was sealed. I instruct them, don't unseal it, of the complaints. Send this down to the county, have the county hire an outside investigator to conduct this investigation. And for the Skelly hearing, have an outside hearing officer, nobody from our department, because I knew how this would end up. So to this day, I've never read what's in that package. So I had nothing to do with the termination. The sheriff's office had nothing to do with the termination. And I think the settlement of $300,000, that, you know, if you get $1 in federal court, you get attorney's fees, and they can be up to over $1 million. So the county decides what's best for the county.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
They made a financial decision.
It's a business decision. It certainly is.
Yeah, which is common in situations
Happens all
like
the
these.
time.
Yeah.
The
Just
public
make it go away.
The public loves to say, "Well, look what the sheriff's done." Sometimes you have a case that's some cases are better than others, and sometimes you have a case where you can't afford to go to trial because you might lose, and if you lose, it could be millions of dollars. We lost one recently out of Mojave that is pending appeal now, but the judgment was $30 million, and the deputy did absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So it's a roll of the dice for sure.
Yeah. I even talked about this during the campaign. And for those that don't remember, Justin Fleeman ran as a one solution candidate where he swore he was going to clean up the sheriff's department. He was going to clean up the adultery and the sex on the job and sex with fellow sheriff deputies and sheriff with the Sheriff Activities League participants. And my question always was, even during the campaign, why didn't you speak up now? Why is this the thesis of your election campaign?
Yeah, he was a bureau chief. And if those things were happening, and some of them were, but it's like I was telling JR a few minutes ago, you didn't sign a contract that says you can't date JR.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
you both
How
work
do you
here.
how do you tell people not to have extramarital affairs?
You don't. What they do off duty is their business.
Yep.
And I'm not the morals police, nor legally can I be the morals police. I can think of more than 25 deputies that have married someone from within the organization and they met on the job. Sometimes that goes south. And when it does, we wind up with cases like this.
Yeah, that's why HR hates inner office dating. But, in the 20th century, we've changed and kind of outlawed that. But when I was growing up in the 20th century, it was extremely common. I always point to television. Jim and Robin, Todd Carley and Jackie Parks. Remember the little redheaded weather guy that married Susan Ford, one of the reporters in there? Susie Frankenberger married the sports guy, and they ran off. It happens all the time.
And sometimes that goes south. And sometimes they get in trouble, and they do it. Like make a nexus to the organization, we deal with that because now you've made a nexus to the organization. Sometimes it's easier than other cases. You never know.
Yeah.
They're all different, but it is what it is. And the county called me and talked about it settling, and I said, I don't care. I've had nothing to do with this case, and I don't plan on having anything to do with it now.
Yeah. Walk us through, Sheriff Donnie Youngwood is our guest. Walk us through what the original disciplinary action that you took against Fleeman and why.
But you're not listening to me. I didn't take any disciplinary action against Justin Fleeman, period.
Okay.
Had nothing to do with it. Have not to this day read the complaint. So I don't know what those allegations were from the other deputies.
So the complaint came from the deputies?
From deputies. That package went to an outside investigator who I've never met to this day, never talked to. That person did an investigation, determined that the allegations were true, and recommended termination. He was then terminated, and then he's given what's called a Skelly hearing, where he goes in and argues his case. And I wouldn't refuse to hear the case. I had him go outside the organization and get a hearing officer, not someone within the organization.
Wow.
So to this day,
that is a lot different than what's being reported.
I'm well aware. To this day, I have not read the complaint, nor do I know what I know. Through rumors. I don't want to mislead you. I've heard rumors what the allegations were, but those are rumors. I've never read the case, never read the allegations, but they were sustained.
Yeah. Let's change gears a little bit. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're busy. And I don't want to talk about what happened in New York. You know as much as we all do from reading the papers and watching television. But my question to you as a law enforcement officer, how have we lost these young men, Sheriff? How have we lost these 18 to 30-year-old men who just given up on life? They're not getting married. They don't know how to socially interact because they're on their phones or in their mother's basement playing war games and whatnot. And we've lost these kids where they don't even have the will to live. And with that, they want to take other people's lives. This kid drove from Las Vegas to New York City to go up to the NFL offices, apparently, and shoot up the place.
Well, what we know is 15 years ago, people didn't charge police officers, deputies, and attack them, and knowing that they have a gun pointed at them, they didn't do that. But things have changed in the last 15 or 20 years. Part of it's the education system. Part of it's this phone, the social media stuff that they're getting. I don't know if they believe there's going to be a second chance or what, but we're seeing violent crime explode. And we're seeing people that are doing things knowing that they probably might die and they don't care.
Yeah.
That's hard to explain in my world. But I do know that sitting at home listening to or looking at the news and on phone, not CNN because nobody watches that, but
no, they don't. No, they really don't.
But I do know that sometimes I get really frustrated and I have to put that phone down because I'm really irritated over something I'm seeing or watching or reading, and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
And if you do that 24/7, it'll get to you.
Yeah. And it's amazing the lies that you read. I was watching something and they had Aaron Judge, and if they hadn't gone too far, I would have thought it was real.
Yeah.
But he finally was like, and my manager, Aaron Boone, or whatever his name is, he's an idiot. And I realized that's not Aaron Judge, but it looked like him. It sounded like him. And had they not gone crazy with it, I would have believed I might have played that on my show.
Another reporter wanted to know, asked the county why I wasn't paying the $300,000. And, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
You get nobody to be the sheriff or
no
any
kidding.
political office.
No kidding.
Because they make a settlement with someone doesn't mean that, in fact, in this case, it says the county admits no wrongdoing. If this was a solid case, this would have gone to trial. And so it's a strange world we live in for sure.
Yeah.
It's different than what we grew up in. Even I'm having a hard time adapting to the lifestyle, what I'm seeing from other people.
Yeah. And I think it begins with school and with parents. And
Well,
the way
parents
kids,
are working and they're allowing their children on the internet nonstop.
Mhm.
And they can be brainwashed rather easily. We know that that's happening in our schools, in our colleges. We know it's happening with the cell phone, with the social media. Know what your children are doing. Don't let them be on there 24/7.
Yep.
Check. Don't just listen to what they tell you. Go see what they're doing. Get a program that can let you go back and see what they're doing. You're going to get one shot at these kids, and that's going to be it.
Yeah. And no parent wants to do that. Most
No.
parents, they don't want to be.
It keeps them busy.
It's changed. Our parents didn't give a damn about being our friends. But it seems to me this generation of parents want to be pals and buddies, and they don't want to take the phone away. Man, take that phone away. People are having dinner, and everybody's looking at their phone at the dinner table.
Yeah, I
crazy.
was telling JR, I said, Ralph and I don't always agree on everything. For example, yesterday we didn't agree on the marijuana issue, and I think you got your eyes wide open yesterday.
Just a little bit,
But if you remember, go back 10, 15 years, all you heard was medicine.
Yeah.
It was medicine. And this sheriff kept telling people, this is not medicine. This is not the 1960s marijuana. This is marijuana that's totally different.
You're absolutely right.
And I was glad to see Jeet Singh come on yesterday because he's an honest man.
Mhm.
And forewarning people, be cautious what you do. It's your life. And if you choose to go down that path, that's totally up to you. In fact, if you remember Charlie Napier, the actor.
Yeah.
Charlie and I
Couple
we had that conversation about he had drinking a lot. And I said, Charlie, I think you're drinking yourself to death. But if you choose to do that, I'll support you because it's your life, not mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave you with this. Running again?
I've got 3 more years.
I don't care. Running again?
I haven't. Hope I'm getting up tomorrow morning, Ralph.
Not sure that. I know the feeling, sir. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Always good to see you.
You as well.
Appreciate you doing this for me. I really appreciate
My
you
pleasure.
coming in. Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, everybody.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Wednesday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. We will break down the absolute latest on Trump's trip to Europe and the ongoing tariff conclusion and what we should expect for August 1st. All that, plus the latest on Epstein, and Democrats continue to struggle. How do they get back to some form of normalcy? Probably they won't, but we'll talk about it anyway. Clay and Buck, come hang.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Network. You probably heard me talk about Adaptive Network for the last couple of months. We've teamed up with them because IT is our business. And when it goes down, we're out of business. And if you're a business owner that's been listening and you're thinking, maybe I need to join ADM and get better IT, what should you do? Well, the first thing I do is take an absolutely free security assessment. Call Adaptive Networks today at 241-0638. Don't wait until it's too late. By the time a business realizes their IT is bad, they're usually already in crisis. Adaptive Network makes it simple, no jargon, just absolute results. And they're there to help. They're local, responsive, and security focused. Again, call today at 241-0638. Adaptive Network, your IT partner in Bakersfield, making it simple, stable, and secure.
Hey folks, this is Michael Benj, noted barbecue connoisseur.
Oh, hand me that microphone. This is the real Michael Benj, noted barbecue connoisseur. That was my buddy Jeff Salters doing his best impression of me, and you'll never guess where I am. I'm sitting here eating barbecue with the man. Hey, why don't you tell us about what's going on with the catering in the banquet hall?
Thanks, bud. Yes, we have got the catering line. It is hopping. People are calling in, booking their caterings right now. And for those of you looking for a banquet hall or a facility to host your event, we got you covered. Salty's Banquet and Event Center, 6720 Chirag Court. So just give us a call at 661-563-2739, 661-563-2739.
Salty's Barbecue and Catering, 9425 Rosedale Highway and 6801 White Lane.
Hey, folks, you know the line. Say it with me. California grilled,
Texas approved.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1.
Oh, happy day. Happy day. What movie is from? When Jesus walks. I think we've talked about this before. It ends a really good movie. And I can't. Maybe, but that's not the movie I'm thinking about because I'm not a big Whoopi fan.
Yeah.
The only good film that I think Whoopi was in, and I include The Color Purple, because I wasn't a fan of The Color Purple. I wasn't a fan of the book either. I don't like topics like that. Like I said, I didn't like Roots. I can't watch African Americans being belittled. You know what I'm saying? It makes me angry. Told you about the death of Ryan Sandberg. In January, I'm reading from Wikipedia. In January of 2024, Sandberg announced that he had begun treatment for metastatic prostate cancer. God. In January of 24. And he died in July of 25. And you all don't want to listen to me and get checkups and go see your physician. The only reason Deion Sanders is alive is because they caught it in a checkup. It's the only reason he's alive. Only reason he's alive, because that cancer would have spread throughout his bladder and the other organs. Good night, nurse. Good night nurse. But Sandberg was diagnosed in January of 2024 after months of intensive chemotherapy and radiation treatments. And this is the insidious part about cancer. This is why cancer, despite the fact that you can put all the cancers together and they don't amount to the number of people that die by heart disease, this is why cancer gets all the attention. After months of intensive chemotherapy and radiation treatments, he was declared cancer-free just a year ago, August of 24. And then he spends the summer and the fall thinking, I beat it. I beat it. Christmas rolls around, December of 24, they announced that cancer had returned and spread to other organs. Can you imagine? You fight the good fight, you lose your hair, you're vomiting, you're going through those radiation treatments, the chemo, and the doctor comes and says, you're free. You're good. We got it all. And for a couple of months, he thought he had beaten cancer. And as he's getting ready for Christmas, his doctor comes and tells him, not only has it returned, but it's spread. How long do I have, Doc? 6, 8 months, maybe. And he got what? 7, 8? He got 8 months. Sandberg announced that he had cancer had returned and spread. He lived in Lake Bluff, Illinois, and died at home on July 28, 2025, at the age of 65. Go see a physician. Have your blood drawn, even if it costs you $50. $50. Not happy with my physician. And then they slap some. Well, I'm not even going to talk about that. Who you got?
Dave is on the line.
Dave, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Hey, how about Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost?
That's what I was going to say. That's the only, I didn't finish my thought. I said the only movie she was good at, and I'm including Color Purple because I didn't like Color Purple. I didn't like Sister Act. I didn't like the one where she's the coach of the Knicks. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only film she's good in is Ghost, where she won the Academy Award. That's why she's an EGOT. She's an EGOT. She's got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Last night I went out and saw some live baseball. I saw the Pickles League.
Oh, is that right?
I watched our Bakersfield team play. I went for a couple innings. Man, it was entertaining. You know, it was and live baseball. I just wish we had never lost our Dodger affiliation.
Yeah, it was fun. That was fun. It really was. Seeing guys, we'd be seeing Blake Snell.
Yep.
You know, he just got back from Oklahoma City. We'd be seeing all these guys doing their rehab. That was the fun. I got to see Piazza. I got to see a bunch of players when I first moved up here. But
hey, I just visited my doctor today. I gave my blood last week. Gave
good.
My sample.
Good.
I got a good report. I got a little joke for you if I can tell it real quick.
Real quick, Dave, because we got to go home.
Okay. So the doctor says, I got good news, I got bad news. The good news is all your numbers are good. The bad news is you got to tell your wife you're going to live.
That's funny, Dave. That's funny. All right, Matt. Have a good weekend.
Mom, a big hug for me next week.
I will indeed. Thank you, sir.
Have safe travel.
Thank you. 842-5376. Let's wrap this thing up with a couple of text messages.
Maravich once said he didn't want to play for 10 years and die at 40. Then he played for 10 years and died at 40.
Is that right? Wow. Died playing pickup basketball at a church, I believe. What a way to go. What else you got?
Ralph, have you heard that Governor Newsom wants to ban the type of Glock VP Harris is packing?
I did see that. And do you really think she's got a gun? And I wasn't going to go there. But we did mention the fact that the knife attack in Walmart was stopped by a brother with a gun. And I'm just thinking, maybe if somebody had a concealed weapon, they could have stopped this guy before he got to the building, but can't have a gun in New York City, Jack. But you can certainly double park your BMW and walk into a business with an AR-15. And nobody but the security guards can help you, and they are outmanned Poor guy tried to hide behind, the woman tried to hide behind a pillar. With an AR-15, you could hide behind a wall and it would still kill you. You know what I'm saying? An AR-15 would go through this wall so quickly, it would like a hot knife through butter. You kidding me? And the security guard tried to hide behind a desk as he was apparently trying to stop the elevator. And maybe he did. Now that we know that he was trying to get to the NFL offices, which was higher than the 33rd floor where he ended up, maybe the security guard did save lives on the NFL for the NFL. It'll be interesting to find out, was our boy up there at the time? I'm sure they would have reported that by now. If I was about to say Tagliabue. If Goodell was up there, and Gene Washington, who's dating or was dating Condoleezza Rice. I know he's the vice president of something. Wonder if they were all up there when this all went down. And the crazy thing about it is the 33rd floor and the company, I didn't write down the name, they're responsible for security in that building and other major buildings throughout Manhattan and New York. Isn't that a ridiculous coincidence? And again, I want to know, why did he let that woman in the elevator walk out? Why is he randomly spraying and killing people that he's never seen before, but yet he just simply let some woman walk right past him? Some things I guess we'll never understand. We'll be following this story, though, because I'm telling you, they'll be doing an autopsy and an examination of the young man's brain. He played football down in Santa Clarita and in the Valley in Granada Hills. And we'll find out whether or not, in fact, he did have CTE. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. Howard Marcus will be here. And we'll talk a little baseball, how Shohei performed tonight. You all probably already know. I don't know, so don't tell me. I'm going home to watch it, and it's total. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. I will rap to you tomorrow.
This is AM 1180 KERN, Green Acres. This is 90.
God, I spent so much money today. $185 to Cothery, $50 for my blood test, $15 each way. That's another $30. The fact that I'm going by Coconut Joe's bumps me up from $12 to $17. I've spent like $250 today. Unbelievable. And all I had to do was I'm not going to take the blood test. But I had to know. I got to know. I got to know what the hell's going on with my I had to know. We didn't do the thing, huh?
No, yeah, I didn't need your promo. You can end the stream if you want to.
Do what? Oh, yeah. See you guys.